Happy Thursday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to offer you personals and one-card readings. We are going to get started on our personal and one-card readings today. We do have some individuals with priority, but before we get started, just a reminder that if you'd like to get on the list for today, the list, as always, is open. As always, it is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps. Those are pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We're also doing 2 giveaway today when we get to 50K likes, so make sure you're tapping that screen and we will get to 50K in no time. And if you are on the hold list and would like to be added back to the list, all you need to do is send that donation via my tree that has links in it in my bio, and I'll be happy to add you back to the list as well. We read for here highest priority messages from Spirit, Life Path, Angelic, Dream Interpretation, Past Life, Mediumship, Love Readings, Pet Readings, Animal Spirit Guide Readings, Akashic, Mind, Body, Spirit, Love, and Aura. If you have information that you feel is relevant for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber-only Disco channel in the appropriate channels. But before we get started today on those readings, first and foremost, scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing today? There are no wrong answers. The energy that we have right now, it's a bit incongruous. And I'm going to walk you guys through why some of this energy may feel like it's incongruous. So the one thing you have to keep in mind is we've entered Taurus season. And Taurus season is, I like to describe Taurus energy as torque energy, right? It's that steady pull. It's the ability to kind of like, it's heaving things forward to a certain extent. Now, the thing about it is we've also got at the same time that we're experiencing this Taurus energy, we've got an obscene amount of energy in Aries right now, okay? An obscene amount of energy in Aries. And the thing you have to recognize potentially with a lot of Aries energy is in a way, it's almost like the opposite of Taurus energy. It's the ignition. It's that ignition point. It's I like to describe it as like a kickstart energy, right? It's a lot of that ferocity or a lot of that veracity that you need to be able to begin things. So if you're feeling like a little bit odd in this energy, that this is potentially the culprit. This is why you're potentially feeling like that, because it feels, right? You may be feeling right now like the energy that you're bringing to situations feels out of place. So one of the things that we effectively work through, and I want you to kind of recognize this, is the Jupiter in Cancer can actually be very profoundly healing for energy like this, because when we're feeling pulled or we're feeling provoked, but instead we move into a space of deeper vulnerability, it allows the observation of the understanding of the self to pave the way into a deeper solution or a resolution towards something that you yourself have been working through. It is having a different impact depending on where you find yourself on the frequency cycles. And it's also having a very profound impact depending upon where you align astrologically. Now, we did an astrological reading yesterday on all of the sign work. And when I tell you, this type of energy is hitting everybody a bit differently. The hardest places we see or we were identifying that we're potentially feeling a lot of the frustration in the energy that we're currently experiencing potentially has to do in energy that holds on to the past too tightly, right? Because, and I wanted to kind of describe this, like this is also what we potentially feel or experience right now, specifically and particularly with a lot of that Taurus energy with the Aries, right? The ability to effectively identify or to step out of the comfort zone that allows for a deeper point of comfortability to occur. But the way that we effectively work towards that is through the observation of how we ourselves feel about navigating into that vulnerability. And it's not easy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised right now if you feel like you're having a lot of vulnerable conversations, potentially even conversations that you feel like you couldn't have before. Because when you recognize that vulnerability is a point of strength, then the ability to effectively communicate or articulate on it is how we're able to effectively celebrate or appreciate how far we ourselves have come. Now, what we basically saw with Aries energy is we were identifying that if you're someone who carries a lot of Aries placements right now, this energy might not necessarily be feeling that different than you typically experience. Like, we were kind of looking at this, like there was the only energy I'm not too stressed out about right now is the Aries energy, because it's not so much that something feels different, but something that you yourself may be feeling more prepared for. Because a lot of the space by which you may be feeling like the things are wearing away on your patience, it's like, when are they not? However, this energy right now, for those who carry Taurus placements, this might be feeling a lot more difficult. And the reason that this may be feeling a lot more difficult is, and I often kind of articulate this, when we enter into Taurus season and we've got a lot of planets in Aries, it can almost feel to Taurus like there's like red flags everywhere. So so especially if you carry those placements, make sure that you're able to navigate things with like a sense of proportionality, or just like, I feel like the best way is like let the level head prevail, as it were. Gemini, I actually feel like this energy for Gemini that we were seeing may be feeling a little bit healing, but we also see the reason that that might be the case is due to the fact that Uranus is about to move into Gemini. And I got to tell you, a lot of things are going to potentially change in the context of that full moon that we see, because Uranus in Taurus is not ideal, but Uranus in Gemini is wonderful, because it allows for more of an adaptability. But it's also kind of building into the fact that like a lot of the work that we see that is occurring right now in relationality to Uranus and Taurus is paving the way for a lot of those like a lot of that variety that we may see that occurs once we move into Gemini. So that could be a lot of the Gemini kind of getting their schedules ready for something that they see maybe happening a little bit ahead of, like a little bit more forward. Cancer right now, I want you to be very conscientious or protective in terms of how you protect a friend. And I want to, the reason I keep on, we were seeing that heavily yesterday. And I think the reason we're also seeing that has to do with the fact that we've also got the moon in Cancer right now too. So we see that this could be a lot of the energy of Cancer that's like okay with something happening to the self, but if it's happening to somebody close to them, right? Very, very different standards is what I potentially see as occurring there. Now, Leo, the hard part that we were seeing with Leo had to potentially do with the observation of working through having, like, being upset for a reason, or being able to feel energetically validated as it relates to holding one's anger. And I feel like that's what's interesting about it. Like, there's something about the Leo energy right now about embracing anger in a way that allows for something to heal. I feel like this is almost a lot of the Leo energy going through a healing moment in relationality to their relationship to anger or how they feel about it. Virgo, the thing with Virgo energy right now, in the current energy that we're experiencing is, and I want to kind of describe this, I feel like it might be hard for Virgo right now in terms of situations that have a lot of moving parts. That's the best way I can describe it, because the thing about it is I almost feel like there's some Virgo energy that's like taking a step back before taking a step forward, or taking some time to assess next directions or next steps is what I keep on seeing. So make sure, remember, Virgo, to prioritize rest, especially if you've got a lot of things coming up. Now, Libra was coming through very intriguing in this energy right now. And the thing I keep on seeing that was coming through for Libra is the observation or the understanding that we don't find balance by pointing out what's lacking, but being able to articulate what we know situations need, right? So instead of talking about the gap, talk about what you can bring to a situation that feels like it's positive, is what I keep on. That was coming through very strongly for Libra. Now, for Scorpio, the thing with Scorpio, I was seeing it's interesting because it felt very similar to what we were identifying with the Libra, with the Leo energy, which is, and this is the thing about it, um, like Scorpios, when you're upset, Scorpio, you like, and this is the thing about it, you know that you work really hard not to be upset. But that's why when Scorpios get upset, they get busy, is what I keep on seeing, because I almost feel like Scorpio is channeling some frustration into some kind of transformative plans that is going to effectively allow them to feel less frustrated in the future. That's the best way I can see it. Make sure that you're not leaping before you look, is the best thing I can say to Scorpios right now, especially with all of this energy in Aries. It can lead you to feel a little bit like maybe over eager as it relates to throwing yourself into things. So just navigate that with a sense of timing, or healthy timing. Sagittarius, it's interesting. Sag felt kind of similar to Virgo right now, which is like, it feels, it's like there's something about the Sagittarian energy that we're potentially seeing that's related into, or the observation of potentially looking, like I keep on getting looking at situations and giving, like somebody wanting your opinion or wanting your advice upon something, is what I keep on seeing. So one of the things to pay attention to right now, Sag, is it's like, it feels a little bit like, and I want to describe this, like, I feel like it's interesting because Sag, I feel like it's almost like you've got some energy of, it's like you've got regret around you, but it's not your regret, is what I keep on getting. You know, and I think it's hard because, like, and I want to describe this. I feel like this is the best thing to say to Sag. You can help somebody through their regret by like giving them a positive outlook. You know what I mean? What I mean? Like it's almost was articulating upon the beauty, like the beauty of a clear perspective is helping someone, especially if they're in the context of overthinking or doubting themselves. So there's something to keep in mind there. I also feel like it's a little bit of taking one's own advice in that area too, because I feel like there's a little bit of this energy right now. And I want to describe this. It feels a little bit like the Taurus energy, which is like feeling a little bit like, the thing I was reading with Taurus energy is feeling a little crestfallen right now, because it's almost like the space by which the mood that you would expect to move into your sign market in, it doesn't really feel like it's hitting the way it should. But that's also because I told you what I mentioned about what's going on in Aries right now. But for Sages, I feel like, again, understand that your positive attitude gives someone the gift of a clear mindset. Now for Capricorn, Capricorn, you know, the thing about this right now is I feel like Capricorn, make sure that you're putting some time aside for like a bit of like a vacation, is what I'm getting, or make sure that you're prioritizing self-care. I feel like the last few months for you have been kind of rigorous. So remember, like lean into, like Venus is still somewhat in Taurus, which is good. Like make sure that you're prioritizing self-care. Remember, self-care is not indulgent, it's necessary, especially when you've been working really hard, right? That's not selfish, that's you bringing balance to situations because others see you and they take your advice through your actions. Now that brings us to Aquarius. You know, the thing with Aquarius right now is not allowing dread to get in the way of what you need to do, is what I keep on seeing. And I think that for a lot of the Aquarian energy right now, it's almost saying to me, and like, you know, like it's interesting because, like, especially with the Aquarian energy right now, with a lot of the situation surrounding and a lot of the energy that we see in Aries, like all the planets in Aries might be making it somewhat hard not to want to disassociate from things, but allowing ourselves, instead of allowing ourselves to pull away, but to feel deeper into things, is how we effectively identify and recognize what we're working on. So just kind of like think about that as it relates to taking empathetic approaches to things, like to things that you would typically shy away from, is kind of the best way I can describe it. Now Pisces, how you doing, Pisces? Because the thing with the thing I want to describe with Pisces energy right now is I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the Piscean energy is going through a lot of sentimentality or working through the context of the sentimental specifically and particularly, you know, because, and I got to point this out, like, I almost feel like Pisces is in some kind of like active recovery stage, because when a lot of planets are moving through Pisces at the time of their own sign work, it can sometimes feel like, I feel like that's a lot of the energy, maybe feeling very sentimental or very nostalgic upon things. Um, remember, like, remember that the present is where nostalgia is made. You know, like if you're feeling nostalgic, remember you're in the process of making your own nostalgia. I think that might help you stay present in situations that you're starting to feel a little bit sentimental upon. Now that is where we find all of the signs. Now, if you want a deeper dive into all of those signs, I went through them much more rigorously yesterday. You can find that full reading over on the place where we keep the videos. You can also find it over on the place where we keep the photos. You can also find it as a podcast over on my spot at Tarot Church and over on my Stack. I'd also encourage you to head over to my Stack to learn more about our next tarot class. If you're interested in learning about the tarot, it's going to be held on Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the court cards in the Pentacle suit. It'll be the last court card class we'll be having before we dive into the minor arcana. So it's a great time to join if you want to get a nice brush up on all those court cards. You'll also have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. It's a great time to join if you want to catch some of those back classes. Not that it's necessary, because I do my best to give you all of the updates that we've studied prior to the next class, and you'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students. Got any questions about those classes that you want to have answered in real time, I'm available for them. And if you become a founding member to my Stack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of readings, but you'll also have access to over 20 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class system. As I mentioned, I try to make these classes so they are accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. There's a special art installation over there right now that I'd love for you to be a part of. If you want to head over there and check it out. And you'll also have access to my Mystic Meditation arts, which will give you updates on everything we've been seeing energetically in the cards. I just wrote one recently on the new moon that we just experienced, which was wild. It was very similar to an eclipse. You get to have all the deets over there. And I'll be writing one shortly on this full moon we've got coming up in just a few days. Finally, I want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. And for those who are seeking more a discount on your weekly readings, my weekly tarot insight packages will give you 4 30-minute readings, again weekly or bi-weekly, at a discounted rate, so that you can stay up to date with your tarot on a budget. Finally, I want to let you guys know that I also offer dream interpretation readings, which you can purchase per dream or as a series. If you purchase a series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. But let me know in the comments how this energy is impacting you personally, because it is going to hit everybody a little bit differently. That said, we are going to get started on today's personal readings, and if you would like to get on the list today, the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. You can also get on the list if you're joining us on the Clock app with the gift of a meteor shower. And if you are on the hold list, You just need to let me know the date you're added to the hold list. I'll be happy to add you back as well. Hello, those who are joining us over on the place where we keep the videos. Your membership, your paid membership there also entitles you to the same benefits that I stated for the subscribers. You're also eligible for a free 1 card each day as a subscriber. I would like to be able to offer that over on the place where we keep the photos. I need your help with that, friends, because we have to get to 10,000 there before I can start offering memberships. So if you are over there today and you give me a follow, just comment followed in the chat, and I will thank you with an affirmation from a guide for the advanced soul. And if you're already following me, just share this live with 3 individuals and comment share. I'll be happy to do so as well. I'm going to take a few minutes to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. But as I mentioned, if you'd like to get on the list right now, it is a great time to get on the list. You'll be the 3rd person read for. How are you doing today over on the place where we keep the videos? Hi, Kay. Good to see you. Glad to hear that I was recommended. What would you like to ask? Hi there, Inspired Michelle. How are you doing too? I tuned in just at the end of Scorpio and the beginning of Sag. That's when you were born. Oh, you were born cusp of Sag, Scorpio, Sag. Oh, excellent. Well, again, so we did the full tarot astrology yesterday. So if you want to catch the deeper reading for each of those sign works, you can find it in the most recent video that I posted as well. Good to see you, and thank you for joining us today. Excellent. So Kay, if you want to have a relationship reading, you're welcome to get on the list. It's 3 cards for $29 or more for non-subscribers or non-members. You can find those. You can find the links in the chat or in the tree that has links in it in my bio. Absolutely. And sending you so much support on that journey. Welcome to those who are joining us over on the Plays on the Clock app. Good to see you guys today. How are we doing? Guys, we're already at 5.7K. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective, so make sure you're tapping that screen. We'll get to 50K in no time. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Michelle. Thank you so much for becoming a subscriber. I appreciate you. And thank you as well, Entice, for joining us. How you doing today, Avatar? Good to see you. How you doing today, Esteban? Welcome. You beat your friends here. I know, you were first. Well done. 8s and 7s. I don't mind that right now. How you doing today, Heather? And Esteban, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. We're going to be doing personals first, Ruby, and then we're going to be doing 1 cards. And if we want to get on the list right now, it's a great time to get on the list. You'll be the 3rd person read for. Zah, thank you so much for the follow. If I'm ever saying your name incorrectly, please, by all means, feel free to correct me. After personals, thank you, Avatar. And Nikki, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. You just shared with you. You just shared with people in the live. Well done, Nikki. I still appreciate it. How you doing today, Mia? Hi there, Tori. Excellent. Oh, you followed me already. Welcome. Avatar, well, good to see you today. Excellent. How you doing today, Per? Welcome. Triggered. Well, yeah, Heather. I mean, if you're feeling triggered, I would like to point your attention to the 7 planets. The 7 planets that are currently sitting in Aries, as well as Jupiter that's in Cancer. So it's like extra sensitive and easily triggered. Like that's the energy right now. Absolutely. Hi there, dear. Excellent. Gemini, Venus, and Mars. Understood. How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, like, how are you doing in this energy right now, Nikki? Hey there, Kay. You never had a read before. Oh, excellent. So if you want to stick around, we actually have some individuals who are prioritized on our list. So we're going to be getting to them first, Kay. So you'll be able to kind of see how a reading goes here, but no problems. I will also point out, you don't have to necessarily pay for a reading to stay. Often the messages that come through connect to others as well. So we typically do a free daily collective read each day. We are on a bit of a time crunch today, so we're doing what we would identify as a reverse live. So rather than doing our daily collective first, we're going to see if we have time for it. So we will be prioritizing 1 cards and personals today. But most days that you come here, we start off with a free daily collective read. And Denise, thank you for those heart me's. So good to see you today. I can't stop the sheep. I love them. Don't stop them. They're lovely. That's not true. Actually, my Scorpio moon, when I'm upset, you start doing chores. Yeah, that's right. It's that activity. I thought the frog under the leaf would be a favorite. I haven't seen that one. I wish the frog jumped or something. Yeah, that would be that. I mean, you got the right room here. Nikki's very frog oriented. How you doing today, Nicole? Thank you for recharging your heart me's. If you're joining us over on the clock app, please make sure that you're recharging your heart knees if you would like an animal oracle card on top of your one card. And Jason, thank you for the follow. The bubbles are lame, unfortunately. Better bubbles. Come on, we can get better bubbles. Excellent. We're in the States, Jason. How you doing today, Bridget? Every time I read your name, I think of the band. Oh, that's so funny. I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good point. Excellent. You're so welcome. Can you get on the list? Yeah, you can totally get on the list. Oh, you want to gift your reading on hold to Tori? Absolutely. I love that. Yeah. But wait, just to clarify, hold on. Do you want to get on the list, or do you want to put Tori on the list, or are you asking for both? I'm willing to do both. I've got the space. How you doing today, Nicole? Oh, you do. The song I Can't Help. Oh, that's a good one. I Can't Help Falling in Love. Oh, I love it. Oh, you're kidding. It does? Oh, look at that. It's super sweet. Absolutely. Excellent. What Nikki, we're talking about the 50K you got yesterday? Is that the one we're talking about? That girl just gave me a minor heart. Oh, that's wild. The girl gave you a minor heart attack asking that. That's all right. You know what? The other day, what did I see? Somebody was asking. It was a band, and they were like, "What band?" And I gotta remember what it was, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, they don't know." It hurts. I know it hurts. It's okay. It's okay. It's just my heart. Just my heart. Absolutely. Hi there, Ivana. Good to see you. Okay, cool. I've got Tori on the list. Tori, you'll be the third person read for today, and that is utilizing the 50K reading that Nikki won yesterday. And that's so kind of you, Nikki. Thank you so much for gifting that. You'll be getting an additional one card today. Whenever somebody gifts a reading, they get an additional in their one card. I feel like that's fair. Gonna share the love. When you share the love, I share the love, right? I've never had a reading here before. I can't wait. Excellent. Looking forward to it, dear. How you doing today? Hi, Husey. If I'm ever saying your name incorrectly, by all means, please feel free to correct me. Absolutely. Good to see you today, Per. All right, my friends. It's super. I mean, Nikki's a sweetheart. That's why. Friends, we are going to get started on personal readings today. We do have some individuals on the list. If you want to get on the list today, it's a great time to get on the list. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Thanks to my Lio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We are going to get started today. The first person I'm looking for today that is on the list is Dina. Dina, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you would like a general reading or if you have a specific question you would like me to answer. First call for Dina. Second call for Dina. If Dina has not arrived yet, the next person on the list for today is Pieces. How many do we have on the list today already? We've got 3 individuals on the list right now, Per. If you get on the list right now, you'll be the 4th person read for. Great time to get on the list. Second call right now for Pieces. Second call right now for Pieces. Hi, dear. Okay, I believe you posted your information on the Disco. Just a reminder to anybody who is a paid member or a super fan over on the Clock app. If you have information that you feel is relevant for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber-only Disco channel in the appropriate channels. And just reading through. Got it. Ooh, oh, what are we doing? Wait, where'd you post it? Hold on a minute, looking for it. I got it. Excellent. We're doing a dream, I think. Is it a dream? Wait, you put it in the dream. You put it in the dream. Wait, you put it in the wrong channel. It's okay. It's okay. I was like, is it a dream? I don't know if it's a dream. Okay. Is this inside tea or outside tea? And for anybody who is a super and thank you for getting on the list. You'll be read for after Tori. If anybody else wants to get on the list right now, you will be the 5th person read for. I know. False coconut alert. Okay, outside is fine unless I guide otherwise. I got you. Perfect. Okay, before we continue though, with that reading, let's warm up the intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the boar. Thank you. We'll be doing that again after the next reading. How are you doing today, Cyber? All right. And I'm going to pin up pieces here. Guys, make sure to give pieces some love. Hardy, thank you for those chilies. I appreciate you. All right. I am working to stop catastrophizing. Deep learned trait. I'm in a phase of wanting to be love and not anger. I'm planting seeds and speaking up, but still just don't blurt out everything I need. It's a dance of working to accept, but truly see what's not visible to me. I ask all day, every day, and pray I'm not being delusional or accusatory. It is too much, I know, but regardless, it's been growth. Painful at times, feeling at others. Excellent. It sounds to me like this is an angelic read. So let's get to it. And thank you for getting on the list before we go live. That means you're going to be also receiving an additional card today. Oh, yep, come back here. All right. And 2 more, please. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And let's see. 1 more, please. You know, one of the things I see that, you know, the one thing I want you to understand is they're making it very clear that you're catastrophizing is a trauma response. You know? And a catastrophizing, and I want to point out, like, it's not even the fact that you were catastrophizing, because I see a situation that you're healing from where it required you to be predictably catastrophizing all the time. And then even as you were catastrophizing, it felt like it was invariably worse or more difficult than you could have potentially experienced it. And I want to point out there's something really interesting about you not being an energy that is committed to proving you wrong. And here's the thing, you know, and it's interesting too, because it's coming through as, it's like anti-angelic energy is energy that has no manifestation goal than to prove another person wrong, is literally obsessive energy. Do you know how obsessed, do you know how energetically obsessed someone needs to basically be in a space by which their soul mission is to prove you wrong? And I got to point this out, like, your guide is very clear of the fact that you're healing from some super weird energy. Like, that's super weird energy, right? Like and I want you to understand, like, that is what we see when we see energy that has strayed off their own life path. Because when another person has strayed off their own life path to such a degree that they're so obsessed, right? When they're so obsessed with proving another person wrong, then that is effectively indicative of someone that is not healthy to be around. But I see a situation by which you are effectively stuck with them, or you are in really close proximity to someone like that for a very long time. And so I see the fact that the way that you're going to heal the catastrophizing is recognizing the place by which the catastrophizing was formed was necessary. That was saving you. That was healing you to a certain extent. You needed that at some point. But the hard part about it, and I think that you're coming to understand this, is when you move away, right? Like when you move away from a trauma environment, right? That same thing that was working so hard to protect you now feels like it's going off all the time at the slightest provocation, right? And so I want you to kind of think about the fact that you're working, like this is you working right now on building a thicker skin. And the way I see you effectively working upon building that thicker skin, and I feel like this is the hard part about it. You're cultivating relationships with energy that does not require you to have to be hypersensitive constantly in order to perpetuate a healthy connection, is what I keep on seeing. And the hard part about this too is for a lot of that work that I see that you're doing, it's going to feel a lot like recovery. You know, it's going to feel a lot. It's going to feel a lot like you healing is potentially, and especially with your heightened sensitivity, is like recognizing and understanding the space by which another person may be holding hard feelings about something. But I mean this clearly because it feels like it's coming strongly from your guide. Another person's hard feelings are not your responsibility unless they're reasonable, because you have to understand unhealthy energy always has hard feelings, right? You can usually, like, you see that person, right? You see that person around you that's got hard feelings on everything. And what is the first thing that you usually see with someone who's got hard feelings? A profound lack of empathy, right? And you cannot create empathy where empathy does not exist, but you can pay a lot of attention if it's not there, right? If you can see the fact that another person lacks empathy, now you're aware. And that awareness effectively prepares us for what it is that we ourselves need to recognize, overcome, accomplish. And I think that's important because I do see you, right? I do see you very much making some type of progress, specifically and particularly in relationality to being able to identify what is and is not like requiring your full attention, is what I keep on seeing. So I want you to be conscientious about that. I want you to be very aware, because I feel like a lot of the work that I see that you're doing in healing right now is having to take kind of an approach where you're recognizing, like I said, like you're healing your relationship to that catastrophizing quality that you identified by understanding that the catastrophizing was keeping you safe in the past at a time by which whatever you were catastrophizing, another person would try to make it even worse, versus the experiences or situations, and I want to point this out, right? When we care about one another, we tender care, which is the observation of basically identifying and recognizing what it is that we're working to heal. And not just what it is that we're working to heal, but the ability or the observation of being able to define, right? Like it's giving me a lot of this energy of you kind of finding that stabilization point. And this is how I feel like you're going to heal your catastrophizing. You're strong enough to get through it. right? Like even, and I feel like that's going to kind of, like, that is what I keep on seeing, is you helping yourself understand that there's nothing that you haven't gone through that you have not been able to effectively, energetically overcome, right? And your ability of understanding that is the fact that when you recognize that, then you don't have to look at anything that you're catastrophizing with a sense of fear, so much as that's situational awareness, right? That's what you're working on doing. You're changing your catastrophizing into situational awareness. And I want you to write those words down, which is every time you start feeling that as anxiety, I want you to build it into situational awareness, right? Which is like, and I like to point out the way that you navigate situational awareness is kind of like, you're going to love this bottom of the deck. It's like, so what, right? So like, what if that catastrophization, like, does it change anything? Right? Like, so what? And not in a negative way, understand? Like, not in the space by which you say, so what, right? But just in the modality of like, what occurs naturally if you just allow yourself to work towards the fact that something that you're thinking about is actively occurring. Does it change something, right? And if it doesn't, right, like that's why I keep on got your angelic going, so what? Because it's the space by which we understand it doesn't change, what we experience doesn't change us, right? It doesn't change us. And that's what I want you to kind of recognize as you're moving through that. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. It's fine. If this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. Okay, 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings. And you can book private readings on my site. I'm getting indications of it. It's an attenuation of one that I know pieces. So I'm going to look into it and get back to you on it. Because I always like to do, like, once I get something like that, I like to effectively make sure that I'm giving you the accurate information. So if you reach out to me, I'll provide that to you. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments. And here's your book. Yeah, I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. And it's interesting, too, because I feel like they arrived to you kind of recently. You know? No coconut for us. I mean, there's still a very good possibility of a coconut. You know, we still got a lot of openings today for readings if somebody wants to have a dream interpreted. Yep. Yep. And it's interesting too, because I feel like it has a little bit to do with the fact that you put it in the wrong place, right? Like, in a way, like, that was kind of the amplification point that I see. Like, it's interesting because it feels like there's an angelic that's around you. That's like, even if that's true, does it make a difference? Right? I feel like that's what you need to write down. Yeah, like, that's what I keep on hearing from them. Even if it's true, does it make a difference? You know? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, and it's interesting because there's someone related to change, but it's like it's change that doesn't change. You know what I mean? It's the change that doesn't change anything. Hold on a minute. Yep. Excellent. All right. Absolutely. How you doing today, sister? And Star, thank you for the follow. Living, yeah, it has not helped. I need clarity on if it's, I get it. I mean, it says to me that it's where you are that's making you see the past differently, or being able to see like different facets of the past. Thank you, Kate, for the follow. I've had a friend I walked away from, and the maternal step back, trying to weed through. Absolutely. With a loving, strong counterpart. The energy, I know it's overwhelming. I can see it. But you know, here's the thing about it. Staying too long, right? Like that, like you know those lessons now, right? Like let that fortify you. Beautifully stated. Hi there, Melissa. I'm so glad that also helped you as well, Avatar. Only harmful to the self to imagine. Exactly. That's beautifully stated, right? Like it's like let it inform, but don't let it overwhelm. Well, you one day I'll be cool enough to get a trip. It'll come. It'll come. Yeah. You've listen. Honestly, you've got enough to fill one. It's just the fact that I got them recently. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, no, I always recommend everybody should have a journal where they're writing down what comes to mind. I'm afraid I don't do pregnancy readings here, Maddie, but I'm sending you so much support on that journey. Hold on, just reading over. Yeah, I sense them pretty well, but today not as much. But you know, like I need to point, like the angelics are not necessarily in the habit of making themselves present all the time. You know, like they're it's like they're yeah, especially hi there, Marissa. I'm doing well. How are you doing today? And thank you for the follow. Well, you know, it's really interesting. It's interesting that you identify it because it's attenuated. So that's why I said I need to do a little exploration into it. But you're definitely, I mean, we're definitely on the same page. Yeah, that's why it's sometimes having the journal help sort things out. Michael, thank you for those heart knees. Yeah, that's a good one too. I think we've got a whole channel in the disco with those who are utilizing that book. That makes so much sense. Yeah, it helped actually journal to get out. You're so welcome. It's my excellent. We're going to continue right now. The next person on the list for today is I'm still looking. I'm still looking for Dina. Dina, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And if anybody else would like to get on the list today, you'll be the fourth person read for. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I liked how you spelled that. I've never seen that before, Nikki. If Dina's not here yet, we're going to continue down our list. The next person on the list for today is Tori. Tori, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Cyber, these are donation-based readings. You're welcome to join the list if you'd like to join the list. It's 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more for our non-subscribers. And if you get on the list right now, you will be the 4th person read for. I also, if you become a paid member over on the place where we keep the videos, your paid membership entitles you to the subscriber benefit of 4 cards for $23. And you're able to get a free card each day. How are you doing today, Tori? Good to see you. Can you let me know if we're doing a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? Excellent. All right. Excellent. Good to hear it. And for those who are interested in terms of what we can read for here, we've got highest priority messages from Spirit, Life Path, Angelic, Dream Interpretation, Past Life, Mediumship, Love Readings, Pet Readings, Animal Spirit, Akashic, Mind, Body, Spirit, Love, and Aura. If you have information that you feel is necessary or relevant for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber-only disco channel in the appropriate channel. Oh, sending you so much support, Tori. So much support. Can you let me know which type of reading you would like right now? Absolutely. I got you, dear. And before we continue right now, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the Animal Spirit Guide card here. And when I count back from 10, I'm going to reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got the fire dragon. Can I get 3 cards, please? And guys, I'm going to pin up Soul here. Please make sure to give Tori some love. I'm hearing somebody say careless. Okay. Yeah, one more. I see them with somebody. Or somebody they were following, like everything changing after another person left is what I'm getting. I see a circumstance or situation, like the best way I can describe it is I don't know, like there's something around this person that like I see a lot of profound loneliness, or somebody who is like, I don't know, I keep on hearing somebody who felt like they were desperate to try to convince somebody else that something was happening, and another person refusing to listen to them is what I keep on seeing. You know? And what's hard about that is, like, I don't know why, but it feels like this person was like surrounded by some like profoundly dubious energy. And the thing about it is, like, the dubious energy is like the sound of negligence is the sound of dubiousness, because it's somebody who is trying to express something like over and over again, and another person just not taking them seriously. And I feel like I see somebody who had somebody, you know, like they had somebody who was like their like, you know, like it was like everything, because like they cared about them. And I feel like in a way too, so did you. you know? Like, that's the thing I think that's so interesting about it is, um, I don't know why I feel like I see some kind of situation by which, like, I feel like it's like you and another person growing apart. They don't have any hard feelings about that. And I need to stress that. I don't know why they're articulating about some kind of argument. You know, like they keep on talking about an argument that was there that was like so, like they're identifying how silly it was, you know? Like I keep on hearing them say it's a luxury to be able to like have a silly argument with someone because, you know, I feel like that's the only thing I see around somebody that I see them kind of like working through is, and it's interesting too because like I keep on hearing um like I keep on hearing the word grudge, you know? But like this is I want to point out this is the type of energy, like this is the type of energy or the type of person who um like would like lean against someone and like be standing right beside them and they'll say to them like I'm still not speaking to you. You know what I mean? And so this is what I keep on getting with them. It's like you got that about them, right? Which is like it's saying to me like I feel like there might have been others around them who like when they got into that mood, like they left with a lot of like I keep on getting like they left with a lot of things that they wish that they like loose ends is what I keep on getting, but not you. Because they understand, like they understood like you understood that sometimes like they would stop like like they're saying like it's water under the bridge, you know, which is the space by which you like you wouldn't let their mood, they're saying like you wouldn't let their mood get in the way of them recognizing the fact that they're saying like they could always tell that you cared and you oh even when there was like I keep on seeing like even when like this type of energy is the identification of someone says like even if they weren't like even like I want like and this is what we understand with people who care about us, even if we're fighting, like they feel like they knew that if push came to shove you would be there in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like it's giving me that type of energy. It's giving me like they're articulating upon something that felt like it was very complicated because I almost see somebody saying like I hear them saying it's not that we were fighting with each other, we were fiery with each other, is what I'm getting. They're even saying it's not that we were fighting with each other, they're saying we were fiery with each other, which is the space by which you would say, like, I'm still not talking to you. Yeah, I'm not talking to you either. Need anything? No, I'm fine. Right? Like you know what I mean? It's that type of energy is what I keep on seeing. And this is how they're kind of showing that, right? Which is like they're saying like passionate people, right? Passionate people, sometimes it's like I like to point out, like they're showing me like, have you ever tried taking two like they're showing me like, have you ever tried taking two like batteries and like you know like you try you do as much as you can. Like you ever take the same side of a battery and you try to bring it together and no matter how much you can, like the force pushing them apart is almost their connection. Like that's the type of relationship that they're effectively showing me. And so I keep on seeing you are one of the few people that understood that behind their fire there was affection, right? Which is the space by which they didn't feel like they had to they didn't feel like they had to tone themselves down with you. Even even if things got, I keep on hearing, even if things got heated at times, I keep on hearing heated but no hard feelings is the best way I can describe it. The hard thing is, and this is what's complicated about what I'm seeing around somebody, that you were one of the few people that like they're you know like they see things a lot more clearly now. And I feel like they're seeing things more clearly around themselves and the space by which I keep on seeing somebody trying to articulate that sometimes they couldn't, sometimes they had a hard time seeing somebody trying to care for them is what I keep on seeing. if the care didn't come in the way that they expected it, is what I keep on getting. And I feel like that's what's interesting about it, because I almost hear them saying the fact that they're sticking around for a while because they're trying to like tie up some loose knots, but like I feel like it's not, it's not between you and them, is the best way I can describe it. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, like I feel like, they keep on articulating like they were missing somebody like crazy, is all I keep on seeing. And the thing about it is I just keep on seeing, like, I don't know why, but I feel like they just keep on talking about the fact that they're not missing them anymore. That's what I meant by them identifying the fact that they're not alone, that they found them, because I don't know if this is somebody who, like, I don't know if this is someone who changed profoundly, like after somebody went away, is what I keep on seeing. Like, I feel like I keep, like, like they're talking about somebody, like when this person disappeared, they're almost identifying, it's like there's like, it's like the sun just stopped shining. You know what I mean? Like it really, like I can almost like it almost feels like somebody who felt like they lost their compass in some way. And I keep on seeing like they're almost identifying the fact that they're saying like they've got their compass back, is what I keep on hearing. Or they're identifying, they want you to let you know, like they just keep on articulating the fact that they're not alone, and that they've energetically found that person that they were missing so much. And I feel like it's not like, I feel like they're helping them in some way, in the transition, is what I keep on getting, because like this feels very new. This feels very new, or this is somebody who's like showing me the fact that they're just getting like acquainted with, they're just getting kind of acquainted with where they find themselves now, but they're communicating the fact that they're safe, and more than anything, they're not lost. They're not lost at all. They're close to somebody who cares about them, who's helping them through. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. Something about a car. What's going on with the car? I don't know why. I don't know if this person did something with cars, but they're talking about your car or something. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message or something about something in the trunk of your car, thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you'd like to get on the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Just bear with me a moment. And we're also at 16.3K likes over on the Clock app. When we get to 50K, I'll be gifting a reading back to the collective. No, you're so welcome. Again, Cyber, it's not necessary to have a reading here to receive the messages from the readings. If you don't have the funds to be able to afford a reading, and as I said, I do offer free readings each day, most days of the week, to the collective. We're a little short on time today, so we're focusing on personals and 1 cards. Hold on, just reading over. You're so welcome, dear. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys for supporting each other in these messages. Yeah, that was that. Okay, thank you. Yeah, like that was the individual. That was the bottom of the deck I was seeing. Yeah, thank you for confirming. Yeah, silly arguments can be, I mean, silly arguments are frequently trauma-based. Never fought or argued. We may have aggravated each other a lot, but that's the thing. I see somebody who used to get in a lot of like fights, but not, but like I keep on, like they kept on saying like you saw through a lot of their like pokiness is what I keep on getting. Thank you, Richard. That's what I'm like with my friends. Yo, yeah, 1,000%. He knew I had his front and back. That's what I keep on, like again, regardless of what was happening with you, like I would like in a heartbeat, if what I kept on seeing. Yeah, he was like that with others, but he knew you could get rid of you. Exactly. You weren't scared off as easily. Because I see somebody, like I see somebody with like a kind of like a bit of like a, it's like a little, I want to describe, I mean, you didn't see it as a mean streak, but like, yeah, you would aggregate. Yeah, I feel like you weren't afraid. Like I feel like you see, like sometimes you see that with someone who others feel like are mean, and you're like, can't do that to me. Like you can't do that to me. What are you doing? Hi there. How are you doing today, T9? I'm sending you so much support on that healing journey. Listen, frequently, again, if you'd like to have a reading, I'm happy to read too. If you'd like to be on the list, I'm happy to read for you on it. I will tell you from my experience that most people who cross into spirit don't hold on, like they don't hold on to a lot of the arguments that we often have in this experience. Like there's a lot of clarity that comes over that comes across when we cross over. Yeah, it was a very fiery spirit. We had the like, and somebody who like, I don't know if there was something connected to that. Like somebody who would often, like I just kept on hearing somebody saying I was being careless about something, you know? Oh, that's so young, Soulflower. Yeah, he always had that void. Oh, absolutely. No, I see it. Like I feel like I see somebody who is overjoyed because they kept on just saying I'm with them when I was reading with them. Yeah, thank you. I keep seeing them in a wildflowers. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely. You're so welcome, dear. And thank you for having that reading with me. And thank you so much, Nikki, for gifting that reading to Tori and sending you so much support on your journey. Hi there, Annie. How you doing today? Yeah, I don't know why they're identifying something related to the car or something about a trunk. Yeah. Yo, Fave, happy to read for you if you'd like to get on the list. List is open. You'll be the third person read for. You got full body chills when you said that. Oh, thank you for confirmation. How you doing today, Straw? These are donation-based readings right now, so if you'd like to get on the list is open. You'll be the fourth person read for. For those interested, it's 3 cards for 29 or more. 4 non-subscribers, 4 cards for 23 for subscribers. And that includes those who are paid members over on the place where we keep the videos. Your paid membership there entitle you to the same services. Yeah, they forgive that instantly. I was told to forgive myself for not being there. It's, here's the thing about it. The thing that often happens is they get they get a full shape of a situation is the best way to describe it. Which is, it's like they're like often when I read for someone on the other side, they get like, they get a better context of things that they might not have seen or the complexity of things, right? Yeah. Hold on, just reading over. Yeah, they used to drive. Oh, we would always clown about in it. Yeah, they're just talking a lot about car things. That was a landfill. Yep. Hold on a minute. And guys, please remember not to message strange people promising weird things. Be safe out there. All right, the next person that we're reading for today. I'm still looking. I'm still looking for Dina. If Dina is not here, the next person on the list for today is Per. What was going on with their teeth? Was there something going on with their teeth, Tori? It's interesting. All right. And Adina, thank you for sharing the live. Always appreciate when you guys share the live. Guys, make sure to give Adina some love. I had a beautiful podcast with her a while back. You can find it on my site and over on her site as well. All right, if Dina is not here, the next person we're reading for today is Per. Per. Ooh, we're doing a dream. You see, we are going to get our coconut. And if anybody else wants to get on the list right now, it's an absolutely lovely time to get on the list. You will be the second person read for. Reminder, 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Binks in my Lio. Please keep in mind, there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We read for here highest priority messages from spirit, life path, angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, akashic, mind, body, spirit, love, and aura. If you have information that you feel is relevant or necessary for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber-only Disco channel in the appropriate channels. We are going to get started on Per's reading in just a moment. Before we begin, I do need to step away for a moment, and we'll get started on that dream interpretation. But if you would like to get on the list right now, it's an absolute lovely time to get on the list. You'll be the second person read for. I will be right back. Yeah, we're in good shape. We're in good shape, Nikki. Life has a way of lifing. I shall be right back. All right, let's get to it. We've got a dream interpretation coming through. One moment. Excellent. All right, where were we? Life to life does life. Excellent. Yeah, Nikki did not get on the list. Nikki gave her reading to Tori, which was very kind of her, and that's why she'll be getting an extra card, 1 cards today. Okay, we're getting to a dream interpretation for Per, and before we get started on that dream interpretation, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10, and when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the otter. Thank you. We'll do it again after the next reading. And we're doing a dream interpretation. You know what that means when we do our dream interpretations. I'm going to bust out the dream coconut. Got the coconut here. Ooh, I like that one. Excellent. All right. Outside tea. I know it was a good one. I'm going to pin up. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm pinning up Per. I have only a faint memory of the dream. However, it intrigues me since I had the same dream twice last night. I dreamed and then was awake for about 10 minutes, wondering why I couldn't remember the dream, because it was very interesting. After I fell asleep again, I had the same dream once more. Again, this was all I could remember when I woke up this morning. It's bugging me. The dream. A brick flew straight upward, really very high towards the sky. I don't know whether I threw it myself or whether it flew on its own. There was also a narrow round tower made of brick in front of me. I remember that the brick was just kind of hanging still above the tower for a moment. And I saw this from a point as if myself were also in the air, not looking up, but straight forward. I know for sure I was standing on the ground when it flew up. Interesting. Can I get 4 cards, please? Got it. So it's a guide dream on perspective. and what we're and what we're effectively seeing in the space of the dream is, and everything we see in relationality to this has to do with you being able to recognize and identify an anomaly. And what is the anomaly that we're potentially seeing? It's the space by which you identified that you saw a brick that was flown, that flew in the air, and then you saw what appeared to do. It appeared to do something that felt like it was impossible to be done, which is the modality by which it effectively hung in the air for a moment, effectively defying gravity, right? So we're effectively identifying a situation by which it appears that a brick could float. And that's interesting because like bricks can't float. Okay. It feels like it's something that is out of the realm or the context of what could effectively occur. And what are we basically identifying in relationality to you potentially observing or identifying it? The most important thing to recognize in this dream space is what your own reactivity point was. And furthermore, in the observation of potentially identifying and recognizing the state or space by which, and it's interesting too, and I want to bring something forward to you about this dream that is very intriguing, which is you usually have really, really good dream accuracy, right? You usually have very, very good recall. But I'm almost seeing the fact, it's interesting in the space by which you felt like you couldn't remember the dream. And then you fell asleep and you had the dream again. Because the double recall in the dream space is also an anomaly, right? And the reason I want to articulate that is because it's not uncommon to sometimes be able to go into a dream and continue, as it were, right? Like we have those moments by which it feels like time has passed when we enter back into the dream space, but not the space by which we feel that we experience the same dream again. And that's what we effectively identify is potentially occurring in this dream space. So I want you to pay a lot of attention to that, because I actually feel, and this is the thing that's really interesting about it, I feel like the dream was attenuating to you via a guide of your own ability to effectively go back into a dream space, right? That the quality and the condition by which you are able to have a faint memory. And this has a little bit to do with the conversation that we've had in other readings, where I identified, I believe you'll recall that something I said to you in one of our readings is the ability to go somewhere, right? The ability to go somewhere because you've been there before, right? The ability to not look at something with a sense of curiosity, but to focus your attention and your intention, because the dream itself is showing the capacity of your own ability to do so in the space by which you said you had a vague memory of it, and then you were able to bring yourself right back with just the scrap of the memory, right? That then allowed you to find that space again. So I want you to pay attention, because the reason that you saw the brick that was floating next to the tower is because I would not be surprised if the tower in the dream space was made of those bricks. So the ability of the reason that you saw the symbol of the brick standing next to the tower, right? Now hear me out, is the observation of them showing you your capacity and ability to have just a scrap of something and be able to get back the full picture, or getting back exactly to the full space by which you were before, right? With just that little, right? With, like you said, just that little faint memory, right? Just that little faint brick. But what did you try to do? You threw it, right? So your ability to go back into the dream space, to arrive back to the place you were before with just that little glimmer of a memory, is similar to you effectively throwing the brick, right? Throwing the brick and being able to find the brick is able to find the building that's energetically connected to it, right? So there's you with that brick in that building that then allows you to effectively arrive into, right? The brick in the building that then allows you to arrive into the full energetic observation of recognizing or identifying the full ability. And so what's interesting is the dream itself is showing you symbolically the capability of what it is that you are doing in the space of returning back to the dream again. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's a little complicated. It's a little complicated. It's a little complicated. Little complicated. So, but I keep on seeing, like, in terms of, like, you know, it's the understanding of it's the understanding of the recognition of the one thing that's connected to the grander thing, right? And so this is a continuation of what we articulated in some of our private readings in terms of some of your own capability of being able to locate, right? Your ability to effectively find spaces or places via the one's own determination in terms of being able to recognize and identify, as long as you don't need, like I keep wondering, you don't need the full thing, as long as you have a bit of where you're going, is the best way I can describe it. So I feel like that in itself is the message of the dream. And it's interesting because the visualization What you saw in the dream was a symbolic representation of what you are actually doing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Per. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, Binks and My Lio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. Just taking a moment to read over some of the comments that came through on this reading. Also, friends who are joining us on the clock app, we are at 20.7K likes. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective, so make sure you're tapping that screen, and we'll get to 50K in no time. Hi there, Not Now. You love the otter. That's water cat. Oh no, it was Tori. Yes. Yep. It's not a shadow work dream, nope. Yeah, it should be the last thing floating, because it's showing you how unique it is to be able to do that. That's why it was floating. They're saying, do you realize how special that is? Mm-hmm. Yes. Hi there. How you doing today, Kanetta? I'm happy to read for you if you'd like to get on the list. List is open. You'll be the next person read for, and thank you for the follow. But you did remember. That was the point of it. They're showing the fact that all you needed was the scrap to be able to get the full thing back. Yeah, same bricks, older in color. Yeah, you're dreaming about dreams. Oh, I get it now. It's getting complicated. Yeah, I know you. Yeah, I need to learn how to navigate this. You're so welcome, dear. All right, my friends. We're going to continue right now. Second call right now. Second call right now for Dina. Second call right now for Dina. If Dina's not here, the list is now open. If there's anybody else who would like to have a full reading right now, 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, Binks and My Lio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We read for here life path, highest priority messages from spirit, angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love reading, pet reading, animal spirit guide, akashic, mind, body, spirit, love, and aura. If you have information that you feel is relevant for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber only disco channel in the appropriate channels. You're so welcome, dear. I stream across multiple channels, Cyber. I'm also on the place where we keep the photos, and also on the clock app, and as well as Stack. I also have a podcast on Spot. You can find me through all of those with the same name as you'll find me here. And remember that I'll never reach out to you for reading. This is the only way to book a reading with me is through these lives or over on my site. I got you, Nicole. You're so welcome. I got you. We are going to get started on 1-card readings right now for super fans and for paid members over on the place where we keep the videos. So if you are a super fan, go ahead and put your question up. If you would like to become a super fan, you just need to hit that orange icon at the bottom of the screen, or your paid membership over on the place where we keep the videos will entitle you to 1 card. I would like to be able to offer that over on the place where we keep the photos. I do need your help with that. So if you would like to if you can do me a favor and make sure that you give me a follow. If you're following me across the other channels over on the INSTA, I will thank you with an affirmation from the guidebook for the advanced soul. And if you're already following me there, and you would still like that affirmation, just share this live with 3 individuals and comment share it. I'll be happy to give it to you, give you one as well. Bridget, 1 card, highest priority around finances, please. I feel like I see you like working to tighten something up or getting better at tightening something up, bottom of the deck. Yeah, especially with the Queen of Wands. I feel like this is you figuring out new ways to help others in terms of like, you've got a bit of a superpower here, is what I keep on seeing. Yeah, like they're saying to me, like you've got a superpower that you don't recognize, like something that you do related to it easily, like others feel like wariness about. So like remember, like you can like your confidence, like you can help others with their confidence in relationality to tackling something, like that's a gift. Oh, sending you so much support, Sunny. Avatar, one card on love, please. How you doing today, DZ, Ella? Avatar, make sure that you're just staying focused on your decisions. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, don't let somebody, you know what this is saying to me? Um, don't let somebody um don't let somebody try to convince you that you said something different than what you said. Like it's giving me a lot of that energy as it relates to like recognizing and identifying being on the same page with someone, and not somebody who's constantly trying to change what they said, right? Like not having to be in a relationship where it requires one to constantly fact check is what I'm getting. Animal spirit guide, like you can, but it's like it's exhausting. And I keep on hearing like perpetually needing to fact check someone is a perfectly good reason, like is perfectly fine reason to like let that be your closure. You know, like I keep on seeing like you don't want to feel like you're in a relationship that's requiring you to like constantly monitor something, you know? And I think that that's important too, because I feel like that is somebody that you're going to be meeting in love that also is recovering from something like that, you know? Chrissy, one card regarding the connection. We got the Knight of Pentacles in its reversal. So this is saying to me, I feel like this is something, I feel like there's someone around you that needs to get more confident with what it is that they're truly looking for. Bottom of the deck. Oh, yeah, this like, it's interesting because like that Strength card flew out with the Six of Swords in its reversal. You know, you know, I just keep on hearing over sentimentality for the past disempowers our present, which is the space by which when we're trying to go back to something, we're never looking forward to anything, is what I keep on getting. So I feel like there's somebody like trying to work hard in terms of building into the present with some kind of sense of positivity. Minnie, one card on career, please. Got the Queen of Cups in its reversal. I feel like I see you like moving towards something where you are more emotionally invested, or being in the space by which you have being in a space by which you're able to like do something that feels very aligned to your feelings. Yeah, like especially in relationality to I just keep on seeing like I don't know, I keep on hearing the word Jupiter return. But like I feel like this is you looking for something that feels like it's in alignment with your higher purpose. Animal spirit, please. Yeah, the dog energy, right? Something that is good, and it's something that is good and feels good, right? Like something that effectively empowers one because one feels like one is making a difference in something is what I keep on getting. Taylor, thank you for the follow. It's possible. Like there's good, I keep on hearing there's good energy out there. I know sometimes it feels like there's not, but there is. One card, highest priority for per. I feel like there's something that's happening right now for love. I mean, and we've seen this in a lot of your dream space. Like you're doing a lot of work in healing the intimacy wounds that was preventing the ability to build into a deeper energetic connection. specifically and particularly. Like the thing is about it too, I feel like the thing is you're kind of ahead. Like I almost see you're a little bit of ahead of a divine counterpart that's in the process of going through something that you went through about 7 months ago. Animal spirit guide. Yeah, the stag energy. You know, like I feel like I see somebody trying to get their bearings. Like I feel like it's I just keep on I see somebody who's like, I didn't think I'd be single again. You know? Like they're giving me a little bit of this like knock me over with a feather kind of energy in terms of the way that somebody let them down. You're so welcome, Bridget. Hold on a moment. Alexandra, good to see you today. One card on the inquiry. I feel like you brought something to someone's attention that they didn't realize. You know, it feels like something corrective. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles is what I keep on seeing. Like it feels like I'm getting your like oversight. Yeah, the Raven, you know, weird oversight. You know, I don't know if somebody said something that you were like, what? You know? Yeah, it's, I feel like somebody's having a conversation with someone about something. I know, you saw that, purr? Bridget, I'm going to have to tap into that because, oh, I have anxiety. You're welcome, Bridget. One card, thoughts. So again, just a reminder, we don't put our autonomy into the cards as it relates to making decisions. But the thing I keep on seeing is if it feels like it's going to give you a better footing in something that you want to be doing, then consider it an investment, right? Bottom of the deck. Yeah, particularly in terms of the Queen of Pentacles. Like I just keep on seeing like is it like make sure that you go into it. Make sure that you're going into it with a sense of what you want to take out of it. Is what I keep on getting. I don't know, like I don't like it feels positive. Yeah, especially with the otter energy. You know? There it feels to me like I feel like there's also something there about building connection, especially if you're in a moment where it feels like you're looking for, like if you're in the space by which you're looking for soul family, you know, then meeting others is also in like meeting others in alignment is also a healthy intention, is what I'm seeing. You're welcome, Chrissy. Thank you for those heart me's, Ruby. Nicole, how you doing today? Hold on, where'd you go? One card, highest priority for Nicole, please. Thank you for those gifts, Krusty. Don't let another person's fear become your fear. You know? Often those, like, here's the thing about it. Often those that try to do something from fear, like, it's like all they got is fear. Right? Like when someone tries to bring fear to us, their hands are empty. Right? Which is somebody who's like in the habit of potentially, like, yeah, like a lot of the horse, which says like if there's something that like I feel like, you know, if there's something that we're doing or something, like we don't need to talk about it, is what I just keep on seeing. You know what I mean? Like there's something to be said about that in terms of another person saying things versus doing. It feels like empty. Ella, one card highest, please, for Ella. I've got the 6 of Cups in its upright, so I'm getting a little bit of this like observe, don't absorb is what I'm seeing. Bottom of the deck, yeah, like especially when it comes to like, especially with the Ten of Swords with the Two of Wands and it's upright. There's nothing positive about dragging forward an unhealthy conversation, you know? And I like to point this out, like sometimes somebody, you know, there's a difference between, I keep on hearing there's a difference between, I don't know, I keep on hearing there's a difference between friends or friendly, which is the understanding that if, I keep on hearing the difference between friends and friendly is the difference between being energetically polite, particularly if somebody's already crossed a boundary, right? Like it almost says to me that there's something about that, or something about your ability to identify and recognize, like when somebody crosses a line with us, they work to heal it by taking accountability for it, right? They don't try to come towards us as though nothing has happened. So like if somebody's trying to do that, it's okay for you to like keep distant, right? You don't have to feel badly about it because that's the reason, is what I'm saying. You know? Ruby, one card on this weekend, please. I've got the Empress. I feel like this is going to be a good weekend for you. It feels like a little bit of a breakthrough, particularly, yeah, with the Tower card and its reversal, right? Some kind of easement, or something that feels, yeah, the air dragon, right? Like getting some kind of perspective on something, or realizing something that you're worrying about isn't as bad as you thought it would be, but because you're addressing it. Oh, that's wild. Thank you for confirmation, Alexandra. Sending you so much support on that. Yep. You're so welcome, It's My. Thank you for also confirming. Tiare, these are one card readings for super fans. So if you'd like to become a super fan, all I need you to do is you just hit the orange icon at the bottom of the screen, and your super fan status entitles you to one card each day. Hi there, Andrea. How you doing today? Oh, thank you. Sending it right back to you as well. Welcome. And for a reminder for those joining us on the place where we keep the videos, your paid membership there also entitle you to free one card readings each day. And thank you for those 10 jewels. I appreciate you, Andrea. Deeply appreciate it. Excellent. And thank you, TRA, for those heart puffs. Claire, one card on friendship, please. We've got the Three of Pentacles in its upright. So I feel like this is you, like stepping out of your comfort zone to make new energetic connections, is what I keep on seeing. Like, you have to go further afield, right? You're not going to find new energy in the space where, like, in the same territory, is what I keep on hearing. Animal, yeah, Aries energy, right? The only way to increase a comfort zone is our ability to step out of one. So make sure I keep hearing a little bit of discomfort every day as a treat. Like, get yourself used to like introducing yourself, or being or putting yourself forward for things, is what I keep on seeing. Hi there, Lisa. And so for those who are, Nikki, thank you for getting on the list. Please, if you have not posted your one card, please hold. We're going to get back to one card readings. Ancestral guide. They don't get involved in their grudge match. You know, it's not your job. It's not your job to handle another person's business, right? Animal spirit. Yeah, like the stork energy, you know, like, and I want to point this out, especially if there was some kind of situation where another person, especially if there's been situations by which another person articulates that they needed your help, and then you do something and they try to blame you for helping, like let that remind you as to, when we care about each other, we give each other tools. We don't ask each other to do things for one another, is what I keep on seeing. Absolutely. Oh, have a good one, Per. Excellent. One card, Angelic, for Ivana, please. I feel compelled to give you a card from here. Um, yeah, I feel like there's something important there in relationality to navigating a guide or making like, like it's saying like I feel like this is you healing your relationship to anger is what I keep on seeing. Yeah, especially with the Four of Pentacles, because our anger acts as shield. And when another person understands the cause for concern, then we understand that we're in alignment to each other. Yeah, especially with the Ram energy, working through situations or circumstances by which instead of being angry, make them aware of your concern. Right? Like it's like not I just keep on getting not anger aware. Like let the anger drive the direction in terms of what would be better, instead of just allowing the modality of experiencing or feeling it. Oh, no problem, Ella. You've got some dream fragments. Excellent. Let's get to it. Never mind her staying on now because Nikki's having dreams. I love it. Oh, everybody's yelling at her not to leave. That's amazing. Oh, and Aries dealing with a Leo. Oh, dear. Well, we do full readings here, Andrea, if you'd like to get on the list. It's 3 cards for a donation of $29 for non-subscribers. And if you get on the list right now, you'll be the second person read for. Binks and Lio. The next person we are reading for today, though, is Nikki. Nikki, if you could let me know, it sounds like we're doing a dream interpretation. Just let me know. Have you already posted the fragment? Yep, you're sending it now. I still have to get an email out. Oh, sending you so much support on that journey as well, Ruby. Fragments. I got you. Okay, perfect. I've got it here. So your friends, we're doing another dream, and you know what that means when we do a dream is part inside, part outside. Okay, got you. It's inside, outside tea. Got it. All right, and so before we begin, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10, and when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the swan. Thank you. We'll do that again after the next read. Just bear with me, and you know what it means when we have a dream. We bust out the dream coconut. Ooh, I like that one. And so just a reminder, if you have information that's relevant, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber-only disco channel in the appropriate channels. Yes. Okay, so here is the dream. In the first dream, I was working in a place that felt like a mix of my old job and a school. My ex and his wife also worked there, but in separate cafeteria food service areas on opposite sides of a hallway. I didn't work in that area. It felt like they were lower in status or more like service roles, while I was in a higher position within the environment. I tried to avoid them, but still had to move through the space. I ran into his wife. Her eyes were very bright, almost glowing blue. and she seemed embarrassed to see me. I didn't feel embarrassed, just awkward, and left. I also passed my ex and felt tension, like my presence was causing strain between them, and that I shouldn't have been there. In the second dream, I saw him posting on social media about a new job. It felt kind of performative or unserious, like a jokey team, and he was wearing a branded shirt and showing it off. It seemed like he was trying to prove he was doing well, but I felt detached, like I couldn't see through it rather than being emotionally affected. Like I could see through it rather than being emotionally affected. In both dreams, I felt more like an observer than a participant, like I was intruding or just witnessing things rather than being a part of them. I'm wondering why they're coming up now and what overall message of these dreams might be. Also, do these feel like I'm picking up on something energetically like dream walking or getting downloads about the situation? Or is this more likely my own subconscious processing or shadow work? 4 cards, please. So I feel like if any, what we're seeing in this dream is the guide showing you how far you've healed. And one of the reasons we see that is the space by which you identified. The first thing we need to see is the environment by which you found this person, because you described it as a mix between an old job and a school. So this indicates to us that you're looking back at the past from a point of reference and not reverence. You're recognizing and observing what you're looking at the past, not in a space of desiring to go back there, but in the space that you can become aware and learn more from it. And what do you see now when you look back on the past? You see things much differently than when you could potentially first experience them. Because what do you see symbolically represented between you and the person that this person was energetically connected to? You see them in separate cafeteria or food service areas on opposite sides of a hallway. I didn't work in that area, and it felt they were in a space that was not in the same that you were in. Now, one of the things that we see, and this is to articulate the fact that when you identify this, it has nothing to do with the actuality of those positions in terms of you feeling different. But what we effectively see has nothing to do with the fact that those roles are beneath you, but the fact that they're in relationship, and that's how they see the relationship, which is potentially the observation. What do you see them doing in the relationship? You see them serving, which is the observation of the potential of seeing energy that does not build into the authenticity of a connection, but what a connection can bring them, right? The relationship that serves rather than the relationship that connects. And that's why you identified the fact that you felt that it was energetically beneath you, because it had nothing to do with their occupation, but everything to do with the incongruity of seeing them doing that to one another. And the space in between them is the observation that when we build into a relationship that serves our needs, we often see something that is devastating, which is what is identified as the relationship that looks good on paper, right? The relationship that is for show, the relationship that one feels gives one like an air of professionalism, but is only there to serve. It doesn't feed, right? You notice that they weren't getting nourished by the relationship. And if this was a healthy relationship, you would have seen them nourishing each other. But instead, you saw them serving one another, not even just serving one another, right? They weren't serving one another. They were serving others with the context of the relationship. So the relationship that effectively feels good on paper. And that's why you said that you felt that you were higher than them, because it's the observation of you. If you're trying to build into an authentic connection, then it's the observation that you don't look, right? You don't look for a relationship that you're stirring in, but one that effectively nourishes the self of being in the context within it. And this brings you into the space by which we see how far you've healed, because you're not trying to look at this energy. You're doing your best to avoid it. So what do we see you doing in the dream space? There you are. You see them. You're like, oh. You try to avoid it. And then you still have to move through the space, right? And you, without even meaning to, right? The way it does, you accidentally ran into this person's counterpart. And you said their eyes were bright, almost glowing blue. And they seemed embarrassed to see you. And you didn't feel embarrassed, just awkward and left. But what's important about this is the fact that you observed that they were embarrassed, which is the observation that they know that something happened between you both, right? And of course they would be embarrassed, because why are they embarrassed? They're embarrassed that they're still in the relationship. They're embarrassed that they're still in a relationship. And you are the source of their embarrassment, because it's the observation. And the reason you saw them the reason you saw their eyes so bright was the observation that you potentially recognized that they knew exactly what had been going on. They just, in order to be able to maintain the relationship that serves, they've chosen to turn their very clear eyes away from it, which is why you said that they seemed embarrassed to see you, because they knew that you knew that their eyes were clear. And in the space by which they recognized you and you saw their embarrassment, you realized that they knew all about it. You said you felt awkward and just laughed. And then you passed your ex and you felt the tension. Of course you would. Your presence was causing a strain between them. Of course you were causing a strain, because it was serving as a reminder of what they both knew had occurred. You then said in the second dream, you saw this individual posting on social about their new job. And now you have to remember that you understand a lot from this person based upon the context by which you saw them in a relationship, which is, again, you said the false relationship, one by which they were not necessarily being authentic to the person that they were in relationship with, but one that they were staying in, mutually staying in, right, to serve the needs, because the relationship looks good, right? It's something that serves their purposes rather than nourishes them. So then what do you see? That making the connection that when you see somebody that's willing to do that in relationship, it's very possible that they're doing that for everything. Everything is potentially about the relationship based upon trying to come across to others that everything is fine when it's not. So that is the context by which you see this person posting, and you said it felt kind of performative or unserious. Well, it would, because you just saw what was happening in their relationship, right? And it cascades into everything. And you said that they were wearing a branded shirt and showing it off again, right? The relationship, much like their relationship, their intimate relationship, their relationship that feels like it brings some level, like not something that's necessarily something that they feel connected to, but rather something that they're doing to impress others. And you said it seemed like they were trying to prove, right? They were trying to prove that they were doing well, but you felt detached. You didn't feel detached, you felt their detachment. That you could see through it. Rather than being emotionally affected, you were feeling their feelings, right? In that moment, the way you described it, you said, I felt detached. Like I could see through it rather than being emotionally affected. So what's interesting about it is you in that moment are seeing how much you've healed. Because not only are you healing, but you are having a moment of profound empathy, because not the way you described it is how they feel all the time. You described it. You said, I felt detached. You could see through it rather than being emotionally affected. Yeah, because when you don't invest yourself into things, when you're doing things for show, you don't feel connected to anything. You'll do anything that lets you feel something. So that observation, and this is what's wild about it, your detachment, right? Your ability to look at the situation from a place of clarity and non-attachment allows you to feel empathetically the detachment, the energetic detachment that they must have felt the whole time. before they met you. In both dreams, you said you felt more like an observer than a participant, like you were intruding or witnessing things rather than being a part of them. Because that's the observation of you recognizing that someone started a relationship with you because they were hoping to feel something again. Right? And that's why you said you felt like an observer and a participant, because you have to understand, if you're in a situation by which the energy around you is numb, and then you create feelings, right? The reason that they felt energetically embarrassed was because you effectively made it clear, right? You made it clear that the relationship was one by which it wasn't about the maintaining of the feelings, but the fact that they're looking outside of partnership to feel anything. And you identified this fact, the space, but you said when you asked why they were coming up now, and the overall message of the dreams, the message of the dreams are the guide showing you how far you've come. Because the wild thing about it is non-attachment leads to empathy, right? You can't have empathy for something when you're feeling your own feelings about it. But when you're energetically non-attached, you suddenly can recognize the feelings of others. So this is saying, it's showing you that you've crossed, how far you've come in terms of healing that connection. Because it's not only, like, look how far you've come. Not only were you in the presence of those energies and not affected, not only did you bump into them when you were trying to avoid them, and you were doing your best to continue to avoid them and feeling awkward, but not mortified, but you literally had a moment in the dream space by which you embodied the emotional space by which another person must have felt when you found them. And you were still not energetically affected by it. Bottom of the deck. The dream is a modality of congratulations to your guides to show you how far you've come. Right? It's saying, it's showing you, see how far you've come from a situation that you thought that you would never be able to recover from. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, dear. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. I've got 5 spots available today before the list will be closed. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, Binks and my Lio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Yeah, both. Just reading over. Wow, thank you. That's what I figured. That is so true. That is their relationship. Yep. Both very avoidant. I did feel kind of bad. You felt bad? Yeah, because you can finally have empathy for the way that they must feel all the time in that partnership. Yeah, like, oh, that's so sad, but too bad. And thank you so much, Slembiso, for the follow. If I'm ever saying your name incorrectly, by all means, please feel free to correct me. Very true to how I feel. That's so fun. Thank you, guys, even though I prefer him to stay out of my dream space. I really don't feel any type of way now about it. But here's the thing about it. You don't feel any way about it because you understand, right? Like, you understand the vacancy that they would prefer rather than being in a relationship of true connection. You know, like, that what's hard about that is a relationship like that for show. Like, the moment that another person, like, that's what you see, like, that's why you recognize that the relationship is probably in danger. Because if the relationship's for show and they're having a low moment, the relationship won't be able to maintain itself, right? Because there's no feelings there to keep it together. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. All right, we're going to continue right now. The list is open. If anybody would like to get on the list, you'll be the next person read for. In the meantime, we are still doing 1-card readings for our super fans. So if you are a 1-card, if you are a super fan who would like a 1-card, go ahead and put your question in the comments. I'll be happy to draw a card for you. And if you are a paid member over on the place where we keep the videos, your paid membership will also entitle you to a 1-card as well, if you'd like to become a member there as well. Yeah, so that's basically what you're seeing in the dream space is the guides were showing you how in danger their relationship is right now. Oh, excellent, Alexandra. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it's interesting because it's interesting because like it says to me that the guides were showing that to you, not only to show you how far they've come, but why someone might be posting like that, because they're doing it to try to save their relationship. They're not just doing it for themselves. They're doing it because they feel like their relationship is in danger. It's no longer the baby dragon, Alexandra. TikTok had some changes to their gifts. It's now the meteor shower. Yeah, it's sad, right? Like that's what's so difficult about a situation like that. No worries. Good to see you, Nicole. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And just a reminder, if anybody's on the hold list who would like to be added back to the list, you can also do so via, just let me know the date that you are added to the hold list. I'll be happy to add you back as well. Well, and I want you to understand too, like it's showing to a certain extent why, like they're like you're basically the way you felt in that moment is why you would never be able to connect with that person. No, it's not a chicken. I can see why you think it was though. Yeah, you got 2 cards coming for you, Nikki, because you thank you for gifting that reading away. This is you being able to see, like this is the guides reaffirming that your ability to see something is because you come into a healthier place, right? Like that feeling of being able to observe, don't absorb, is you prioritizing the care of yourself that's helped you get through something that I keep on seeing you thought would be like instead of like I feel like you were asking why a lot of times when you were with somebody, and I feel like this is the answer to that why that you couldn't understand at the time you were experiencing it, right? Yeah, some whys only come from distance, right? Some whys we need to get away. Some whys we need perspective in order to see. So it was wise to get away from that because it's helped you build into a sense of clarity. You're so welcome, dear. Excellent. Absolutely. All right, my friends. Alexandra, are you still interested in getting on the list for today? I'm just confirming. Exactly. It's a good song for that. Exactly. And while we wait, I just want to remind you that if you became a superfan today, welcome. I would encourage you to head over to our superfan only disco channel. And KJ, absolutely. If you'd like to get on the list, all you need to do is send the donation payment. It's 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We read for here life path, highest party messages from spirit, angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide readings, akashic, mind, body, spirit, love, and aura. Bridget, thank you for getting on the list. You'll be the next person read for, and please note we've got 4 spots available today before the list will be closed. And Bridget, if you could let me know if you'd like a general reading. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. If you could let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And if anybody else wants to get on the list right now, you'll be the second person read for. Thank you, Scorpiore, for those heart puffs. All right. And Bridget, if you could let me know if we're doing a general or if you have a specific question. Okay, I got you, dear. And let me just, before we get started, let's warm up these intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the Animal Oracle card here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I'll reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the water dragon. We'll do that again after the next reading. I'm going to pin up Bridget here. Looks like we're doing angelic. Can I get 4 cards, please? So I feel like the first thing you need to do right now is make sure that you're recognizing what your anxiety is versus others' anxiety, because I've got you very much right now kind of like a tuning fork. And there's something about this energy that, and I'm kind of talking about this, like those who are very, those who are very connected to energy right now, it's going to feel a little bit weird. And the reason it feels a little bit weird has a lot to do with the fact that we've got so many planets that are currently in Aries while we're going through this Taurus season. It should get a little bit easier once Uranus has moved into Gemini. But the one thing I want you to make sure that you're doing right now is taking, how do I describe this best? Taking incremental approaches to big changes. And the reason I keep on taking incremental approaches to big changes is because I see you currently in the midst of a massive transformation. And the thing about it, and I need to point this out, massive transformations are often remarkably quiet. You know, like that's the weirdest thing. Is like when there's like a big transformation happening around us, it's often the space by which it happens quietly, which is often the sound of like a lot of pieces falling into place, or things that feel like they're happening, like they're happening towards, I keep wondering, they're happening towards you and for you, but they're also happening very quickly. So I want you to be conscientious about that, because I feel like there's something very important about you setting the pace of what it is that you're working to change. And I think it's hard too, because I feel like a lot of the work I see you doing is helping others navigate through your change. Like that's the oddest thing about it. Like I feel like it's hard because it's like you're going through a profound change, but you're so important that it feels like a lot of the energy around you is going through a lot of hand holding, which is having to like, I feel like it's like you're in the space by which someone should be supporting you through it. But instead there you are having to support everyone as you're going through a major transformation. So I want you to recognize like that's how the guides see it right now. And that's why I'm identifying the fact that there's so much anxiety around you, because there you are, right? There you are going through a profound change. And what are you having to say, right, to everybody? They're there, I'll still be there. Like you're going like they're there, I'll still be there, right? Like, well, like I'll see you again someday. Like I see you, like it's you. It's like everybody should be supporting you right now, and not the reverse. And so that's what I feel like you need to make sure that you're finding. You need to find someone who's going to give you some tender, loving care through this change. And I feel like you're going to have to ask for it. And the thing about it is, and I think that if there's not somebody around you, then you have to be that person for yourself, which is appreciating. I keep on saying typically. I just keep on getting typically. I don't know why I keep on hearing typically when something happens like this, there should be a party, not a mourning. Like that's what I keep on seeing is energetically incongruous. Like I literally see the space by which somebody should be throwing you a party right now. And instead, everybody is actively grieving around you. And so I want you to think about that. Like I want you to think about bringing some celebratory vibes to things. And it's interesting too, because I feel like it's interesting too, because the angelic I'm reading into is like the type of energetic, like angelic that walks into a room and goes, you know, we like, what's with all the long faces? Like what's with all the long faces? Like I see someone being like I literally see an angelic scratching their head and being like, what happened in here? Like what happened in here? And being like, I see them being like, last time it's funny too, because like I often see this with angelic energy, because like sometimes angelic energy just gets to like straight up confused. But I thought like like in terms of how others react, like I thought this was celebration. Like I thought like I see somebody, like I see an angelic like genuinely confused, because it feels like I keep on hearing like they're like, I don't know why I keep on hearing somebody say the last time I checked, this is the time for someone else to be throwing you a party, not the space by which you're supposed to help somebody get through something. So I want you to understand, like, that's what's so hard about it, because I told you it has a little bit to do with the fact that you embody your guide too well, which is the space by which energy, right? Instead of energy saying that's wonderful, they're saying don't leave me, right? Like instead of, it's like, I don't know why, I'm getting the kind of the picture of somebody like leaving daycare, you know, like when you leave someone at daycare and they're like, no, and you're like, it's gonna be fine, and they're like, no. It's giving me that type of energy. I want to give you some bottom of the deck energy on this. Yeah, the Page of Cups. You know, this Page of Cups in its reversal, which is like, I feel like, I gotta point this out. I feel like there's some kind of energy by which the energy around you, like it literally feels like you're breaking up. Like I've got a lot of this energy around you that like, it's like I see you like navigating multiple breakups, which is somebody being like, I see them being like, did I do something? Like, is there something else I could have done? Is there anything I can do to, like, I see the energy trying to like barter with you or bargain, instead of understanding that this should be a healthy, happy moment. And so I feel like that's what's hard about it, because I feel like in a way you're going through something where another person should be supporting you, and instead you've got to be everybody's parent through it. And so I want you to understand, it's okay for you to say to somebody, you know, like I don't know, I keep on hearing, and this is what's funny about your angelic, like the angelic's affirming that you get to be baby too. Is what I keep on hearing. That's what's so funny about this angelic. They're going, you should get to, if everybody around you gets to be a baby, like if everybody around you gets to be a baby, then when do you get to be a baby? When do you get to... That's all I keep on hearing. It's like they're identifying the fact that like it's okay for and I think the reason they're saying that is they're saying it's okay for you to take some time to nurture yourself in that way, right? And I keep on hearing it's not silly, right? And they're actually saying it's not childish of you to feel that way, right? It's childish that others don't recognize that, is what I keep on seeing. You know, because I feel like I see a situation, and I feel like this has been happening to you for a while. Like, you know, like it feels like you never, like, I feel like there's a bunch of energy that was just trying to always like rush you into adulthood as quickly as possible. Thank you so much for having this reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you'd like to get on the list, you'll be the second person read for. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Hi there, Richard. KJ, thank you for the follow. I was close. Both live in water. I was close. Okay, Nicole. You and Nikki, man, the 2 of you. That makes sense because I've done this multiple times in my life. I see that. And I haven't been this anxious in a long time. It's just a lot of unknowns currently. I'm not worried, but apparently my body didn't get the memo. I get it. Well, you got to understand, you're going through a massive transition. You've got to take care of yourself through it, especially if nobody else is doing it for you. I can relate to this. The people around me only are like, I see they're not intending to, but I can see how they could feel like they're making it worse. I don't think I've ever had a party. Oh, sweetheart. I've said that to my client because, of course, I've been thinking, now will I be? Yeah, they're like a father to me. It feels like grief. I know they want to keep me, but they can't. And guys, just a reminder, don't follow people promising strange things to you if you privately message them. Alumo, thank you for the follow. I'll be okay. No, you'll definitely be okay. I feel like the problem about it is like you're a tuning fork and some of this anxiety isn't yours. You're picking up on the anxiety around you, is what I keep on seeing. So pay attention. Whose anxiety is this? Is a question you need to be paying attention to. All right, the next person we're reading for today. And Petrum, I'm afraid I can't understand what you wrote, so if you could translate it, I'll be able to understand you more effectively. I can absolutely add you to the 50K from 421, Ella. I've got you. All right, I've got 2 more spots on the list today before the list will be closed. And in the meantime, I am looking for Alexandra. Alexandra, if you could let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And as I mentioned, if anybody else wants to get on the list right now, you'll be the second person read for. We read for here Life Path, highest priority messages from Spirit, Angelic, dream interpretation, past life, mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal, spirit guide readings, Akashic, mind, body, spirit, aura, and love. If you have information that you feel is relevant or necessary for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber-only disco channel in the appropriate channels. Hi there, Juan. These are donation-based readings, so if you would like to get on the list, I just need you to send the donation. It's 3 cards for $29 for non-subscribers. Also, if you become a paid member over on the place where we keep the videos, you're entitled to a free card each day, and it's 4 cards for a donation of $23. I got you, Alexandra, on the disco. Perfect. I'm taking one. I'm walking into the door now. Okay, got you. No problem, Nicole. All right. And under the questions this time, I got you. Before we continue right now with Alexandra's read, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. And Nicole, thank you for getting on the list. I've got 1 more spot available today before the list will be closed. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the bear. Thank you. We'll do that again after the next reading. And I hear this is outside tea. Let me just pull it up. Just a reminder to any of my super fans, if you've got information that you feel is relevant for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation or post it in our subscriber-only disco channel. And if you're not a part of our disco and a super fan, just send me a disco gift and I'll send you an invite to the disco. You can introduce yourself to the collective, and in the perk section, you'll find a coupon code for our next tarot class subscription program, which will be held on May 21st. Outside tea. Oh, that's beautiful. So we got an outside tea where Alexandra usually does inside. I'm taking on responsibilities in work currently, but without the title that I should be receiving for it. I've been training and going beyond my job requirements. I tried to communicate with a coworker about gauging how much I should ask for, but they didn't want to share, and I believe I made them uncomfortable. Most people seem to be offended if you ask, but I always felt it was only fair to be transparent about why we are paid and what we are instead of contributing to an unfair pay gap. I would love a read on the situation, please. I got you, dear. 4 cards. I mean, yeah, I already see it here. The word I keep on hearing, I've got 6, 7, I got double 7s here. I've got a 7 of Pentacles and a 7 of Swords in its reversal with a 9 of with a 9 of Pentacles in its reversal. The word you need to focus on right now is anonymous. The word you have to focus on right now is anonymous. I see somebody that wants to tell you, has nothing to do with the fact that they're trying to keep something from you. They're worried about the repercussions of saying it. I'm not sure why. I feel like I see somebody who's deeply, deeply worried about their ability to articulate upon it will effectively come back to them, is what I keep on seeing. So I want you to be conscientious about that. I do not see a situation by which another person is being cagey because they don't want to tell you. I feel like I see a situation where someone's being cagey because they're worried it's going to get back to them that they were the one that told you. And in that way, I also see the space by which I've got a guide that's identifying. That's why I keep on seeing the word anonymous coming through, because it's interesting because I've got both of your guides. Both of your guides I keep on hearing both of your guides are professionals when it comes to anonymity, right? It's like I wasn't even here, is what I keep on getting. And I think that's really important, because what I'm basically identifying is, remember, that information, when you think about anonymous, when you think about the fact that the information is at your disposal, then you have to recognize that it has nothing to do with the fact that it's not accessible to you. You just need to find a way by which a name can't be associated to it. And I keep on seeing the best way to potentially navigate that. I keep on getting 2. I don't know why they're identifying, especially if this is someplace with a fast turnover. If there's, I just keep on seeing somebody. I see something though, which says, if you're asking a question, don't ask the question that has something. Ask the question to someone who is past accountability in something occurring to them if they tell you. The information's there. Like, it's funny because I've got your guys like pointing down a library, is what I keep on seeing. They're pointing down a library, and they're basically saying the information's there. You just need to go down. You have to go into the archives. Is what I keep on seeing. They're saying the information's there, but you got to go into the archives to get it, right? And the archives would basically be the space by which another person had something and they don't have it anymore, and now they're at liberty to tell you about it, is what I keep on seeing. And it's interesting too, because yeah, like, and it's funny too, because like, I just keep on hearing the same message, which is like, I just keep on hearing the same words coming through, which says like anonymity and time are your friends in this, and it's funny because your guides are basically Yeah, your guides are basically introducing themselves. Like, and I see them both saying it unifyingly, that's what we do. Like, that's what we do. One's going, I'm anonymity, and the other one's going, I'm time. And together, they're going together. Together, when you put us together, then you recognize that everything you need is there if you figure out like how to find it without another person feeling like their head's on the line if they give it to you, is what I keep on seeing. And so if they're worried that their head's on the line, then they can't be on the line, can they? Is what I keep on seeing. So they're identifying, and they're just I just keep on seeing they're pushing you. Right? I see them. It's interesting too, because it's funny, because it almost feels like they're pushing you into a little bit of shadow work, which almost says to me like the space by which you have to introduce yourself to somebody, or talking to someone about something, or asking somewhere. I keep wondering, asking something harmless in the context of I keep wondering in the context of working through something, is what I just keep on seeing. And I think it's actually very intriguing, because I just keep on hearing the guides say the answer's at your fingertips. It's closer than you think. You just need to put, I don't know why they keep on saying the answer's at your fingertips. It's closer than you think. You just need to put your thinking cap on. I don't know if this is a type of job you have to wear something on your head, or if somebody used to work there is working somewhere where they have to wear something on their head. Like, I don't know why they keep on showing me something, but they keep on articulating upon thinking cap. So I want you to be conscientious about that. And I think that, and I feel like in a way, that observation of empowerment is also the space by which, I don't know why I keep on hearing the word survey. I'm also, I don't know why, because anonymity and time is also a survey, which is potentially, I keep on hearing, remember, you don't need to point to something if you show somebody what your research has shown them, right? So I think I keep on seeing like what you have to do, like what you effectively, like the space, but what you have to do right now is you are in the space of creating and crafting a convincing argument, is what I keep on hearing. and a compelling argument. The thing about a compelling argument is that a compelling argument doesn't need to point to anyone beyond a fact, is what I keep on getting to. The reason you're like the reason I keep on seeing that you should be in the business right now of creating a compelling argument is that a compelling argument doesn't need to look to somebody for proof. They just look for, you just pull up the facts. So your ability, like, don't look so much for a person, look for the facts you need to empower something that you want to ask for. Bottom of the deck on this reading. Yeah, right? The status quo, right? The status quo does not need to exist within where you are. The observation of finding things that are approximate or finding others who are adjacent, right? Look for the, this is both your guides, like this is their wheelhouse. They're like, look for the things that are adjacent, because they are adjacent is the same. So for you to say, okay, this is this person and this is what they do and what they're doing is just like what I do, then that is your adjacency, and your adjacency is your deliverance here, because again, it relieves another person from feeling the need to tell you because you're finding it on your own. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list, I've got one more spot today before the list will be closed. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Binks in my Lio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. How you doing today, Lolly? Oh, welcome, Grace. Good to see you. And yep, Ella, I've got you added, dear. Thank you, Tina, for those gifts. Okay, I usually hit it off with them, and they are very strong about justice like me. Exactly. Oh, that's wild, Bridget. So I was at odds with their reaction. Guys, please remember not to message people promising weird things. Be safe out there. Yeah, it does have a high turn. Yep, thank you. It's on the disco. Thank you. Be able to take notes. No problem, Nicole. Hi there, dear. Yeah, I can understand the concern of sharing, but sad that, no, I know. And I keep on seeing, I need you to pay attention to the identification of someone who's around you who's very cutthroat. Remember, like, I feel like that's, like, I keep on seeing somebody, like, looking at you and being like, I wish I could tell you. Like, when they're looking at, they're looking at cutthroat is what I keep on seeing. They're like, yeah. Hi there, Tina. Excellent. Yeah, riddles, exactly. All right, you're welcome, dear. All right, the next person we're reading for today is Ella. Ella, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And as I mentioned, friends, we've got one more spot available today before the list will be closed. We read for here. Hi there, Saga. These are donation-based readings, so if you'd like to get on the list today, all you need to do is send the donation payment. I've got one more spot available today before the list will be closed. It's 3 cards for $29 for non-members, 4 cards for $23 for those who are members on the place where we keep the videos, and anyone who becomes a paid member also receives a free card each day. How you doing today, Tracy? Ooh, we're doing an Akashic. Excellent. Before we continue right now, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10. When we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the Wren. We'll do that again after the next reading. 4 cards, Akashic, please. You know, the thing I keep on seeing here is it's not your job to encourage reluctant energy. But you'd be surprised, because I see circumstances or situations, and I want to point this out, okay? Because and there's nothing, I need to stress this. There is nothing more insecure than another person that tries to blame us because we didn't force them into something. I want you to write that down. There is nothing more insecure than someone who tries to blame us because we didn't force them into something, right? Which is the observation of, I see a situation by which you are perpetually offering another person opportunities. like the opportunities that are there, like literally, and I want to point this out, right? Like it's giving me, it's funny too, because it's giving me a lot of grail energy, but it's like grail energy is understanding that grail actually means meal. And when you're offering something to someone, you don't force them, right? You can't force someone to take food, which is the space by which you identify and say to another person, would you like this? And if they say no, you saying okay is you being respectful, right? Like it's not the space by which you insist, because that's often the shape of understanding someone who there's no pleasing, right? Because when you recognize the space by which you see somebody who's incredibly insecure, and this is often the shape that you see is somebody, here's the hard part with someone who has boundary issues, right? It's not the space, sometimes someone has boundary issues, not in the space by which they're forcing us to do things, but in the space by which it feels like there's no pleasing them, which is the modality by which when you force them, they say you forced me, right? And then it's very convenient because they blame you for forcing them, or the space by which they say you didn't force me enough, right? So what do you see with somebody who has a boundary issue? They're constantly yelling at you about the fact that you didn't get the pressure right. But your job is not to apply pressure in another person's life. Our job is to find the ability to encourage ourselves to do the things we need to do through our own sense of responsibility. And the hard part about it is I've got not one of those energies around you, I've got like two of them, right? Like there's two energies that are either and I keep on hearing you having to say to someone, you can't have it both ways. You can't say in some things you push too hard, and in some ways you didn't push hard enough. That is literally the sound of energy with boundary issues, trying to blame you for the fact that they don't have, their own sense of integrity. That's not, and this is what's important about it. When we care about each other, we show this to one another, right? Because it is exhausting. Like it is exhausting being in an experience by which you feel that something moves forward only when you're giving it consistent pressure, because that doesn't allow you to be able to get anything done. And especially between, and I feel like it's almost like the space by which the two energies, they care about you so much that they see it as some kind of competition, which is the modality by which I see you doing everything you can to try to be fair, right? There you are trying to do everything to be fair. And then there's two energies you're between, and one of them feels like you pushed too hard, and the other one feels like you didn't push enough. So that, and I want you to understand, if that's the context of it, then it's understanding that is the same issue in the same form, which is, again, when we're in a healthy place, no pushing required. When we're in a healthy space, no pushing required, right? That's what responsibility is called. That's what responsibility is, right? And it's not the fact that we don't encourage each other, but we encourage each other. When we have responsibility, then we encourage each other in the best way possible, right? So I think that that's really important, because I feel like what's hard about this is often the only way you usually get appreciated by energy like this is when you walk away, right? It's a modality by which, and I feel like I literally see a situation of you saying, if you, like, I almost see a situation of you having to say to someone, like, if they can't recognize the sound of you doing everything you could, right? And I love this too. And here's the thing about it. I love seeing the Ren in this reading, because often the space by which another person doesn't recognize us giving of ourselves, right? Like I literally see a situation by which you would take the shirt off your back to make another person warm, right? If all they need to do is ask, and then they're blaming you because they if there was a situation by which all they had to do was ask, but they're mad that you didn't enforce or push. That is them trying to get mad at you for not having a boundary issue too. I want you to remember that, right? That is, if that is the energy where all they had to do was ask, but they didn't ask, and then they blame you for not pushing it on them, then that is them being mad at you for not being more traumatizing. That's traumatizing. Bottom of the deck. I don't feel like you, I think that this is, I feel like there's something about this that's helping you heal from a karmic situation, you know? And the problem with karmic situations is, and I want to point this out, often energy like this comes to regret things when it's too late, right? You were potentially, like, you were potentially the best, like the best energy that someone could hope for. But I want to identify that, like, that this is giving me somebody. Here's the thing about it, like, energy that's traumatized sometimes is indoctrinated into the trauma, because if they don't, they would have to hate that person. And I see both of these energies connected to someone who deeply abused them and said, "You'll thank me for it someday." And so I feel like, to a certain extent, they've romanticized that connection, because they realize if they don't romanticize it, they would have to hate that person. You know, like, these, I keep on getting, these are the lies we tell ourselves in order to survive. And the thing about it is, our trauma often feeds us lies to help us survive what would be overly, like, too much to bear. And so I literally see a situation by which it's easier, right? It's easier to blame you because another person wasn't there, rather than them accepting the fact that another person didn't want to be there because they didn't care, is what I keep on getting. So I feel like there's something, really important about that, because often that type of trauma, it's not the fact that it doesn't get healed, but sometimes it only gets healed when it's too late, is what I keep on hearing. Sometimes it only gets healed when it's too late for another person to see it. You know, and I feel like, to a certain extent, you know, like, I feel like that's the hardest part about it, is like I almost feel like it's them. I feel like it's them trying to heal from having some kind of bad, like, somebody around them who set a bad example, and not understanding, right? Like, not understanding. And I feel like I see you healing from it too. But I keep on getting, and it's interesting too, because I feel like I've got one of your guides is very connected to Saturn, which says, give it time. Give it time, because that's not the type of thing that you have to argue to somebody. It's something that they see. Like, they'll see it when they get to that point, and they realize that there wasn't anything sentimental about them choosing not to be there, is what I keep on seeing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. I've got one spot left today before the list will be closed. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Being semi-lio, please keep in mind, there are 3 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over the comments came through as I was reading. Yes, Tracy, I've got 1 spot left. If you would like to secure it, you just need to send that donation and you'll be added to the list. I mean, the thing with the guide that I'm seeing that's connected to some kind of Saturn energy is the energy that says, like, it said, like, here's the thing about it. Time heals wounds when we reach ages where we recognize that we wouldn't make the same choices as the energy that hurt us, is what I keep on seeing. And I feel like I see some kind of energy right now around you that's desperately trying to romanticize a toxic connection because they realize if they don't, they wouldn't be able to speak to that person again. Hi there, Planet Di. The list is open. I've got one more spot on it. How you doing today, David? And Psychic, thank you for the follow. You're welcome, Nana. I've set major boundaries. No more sending you so much support on that journey, dear. Yeah, I was wondering if it was still an issue. Oh, thank you for confirming the connection to that spirit animal. Yeah, this is so beyond accurate blaming them for chart partner. Definitely past life with both, not in a good way. Yeah, I can see it. Like I see you doing the best that you could in a really difficult position and potentially another person not realizing that, like I keep wondering, the difference between choice and need is doing what one has to do and another person seeing choice in that decision. Thank you so much, Nicole, for also receiving this message. Sending you support, Ella. Thank you as well. Thank you guys for supporting each other in these messages. Hi there, Elena. You're so welcome, dear. Oh, sending you support on that as well, Lucky. All right. So I'm still, the list we have right now, I'm still looking for Dina. And if Dina's not here, then the next person on the list for today is Nicole. It's a bunny. Yeah. And Bethany, make sure that you just don't put the full name of the app. The apps hate hearing the other names of the apps here. We just put the initials. Yeah. All right, we're going to continue right now. The next person we're reading for, I'm looking for Dina or I'm looking for Nicole. Dina or Nicole, if you're here, can you let me know? Can you respond in all caps and let me know if we're doing a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? Sayana or Seanse. These are, if I'm saying your name correctly, please feel free to correct me. These are donation-based readings, so if you would like to get on the list, all you have to do is send a donation, but the list is closed today. Beth has secured the final spot. If you want to get on the list for next time I'll be on live, that will be on Monday. I might be coming on for subscribers between the days in between. But if you want to secure a priority spot for Monday, you just need to send the donation now and you'll be able to be read for before we start the Daily Collective on Monday. Thank you, Bethany. You've got the spot. And my friends, we're also at 31.1K likes over on the Clock app. When we get to 50K, I will be gifting a reading back to the collective. All right. Next person we're reading for today. I believe Nicole said that the question is up on the disco. A reminder for those who are on the disc, who are subscribers, if you have information that's relevant for the purposes of our read, you can include it in the notes when you send the donation. You can also post it in our subscriber-only disco channel in the appropriate channels. We're doing a dream interpretation, which means before we get started, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the Animal Spirit Guide card here. We're going to count back from 10, and when we get to 1, I'll reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the sow. We'll do that again after the next reading. And I'm going to pin up Nicole here. Guys, make sure to give Nicole some love. Outside tea. As you know, I have some dream blocks recently, so not much to share about last night's dream. Just woke. Oh, I almost forgot the dream coconut. Oh my gosh. Shudder to think. We're doing a dream, which means we got to bust out the dream coconut. Nice one. Outside tea. As you know, I have some dream blocks recently, so not much to share about last night's dream. Just woke up singing Hanging Tree, and it's been rolling in my head nonstop. It's a catchy tune, I'll admit. However, how do I remember all the words to it from a movie I saw over a decade ago? No idea about the content. I do remember my heart feeling heavy and beating like my high blood pressure needed immediate intervention. I better go take Meds ASAP was my first thought after I heard the song In the Dream Space. There was another song with similar themes I remember, and it's a country song, but I have no idea what it's called. Not sure if that's important. I often get messages from guides in the form of a song randomly, but this one has me puzzled, especially since I usually don't wake up singing. Worthy note, I was not gifted with the voice of an angel in song. Looking for clarity, please. Thank you in advance. Can I get 4 cards, please, for Nicole on what's going on? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because one of the things I'm seeing right now in relationality to some of this song has to do with the ancestral connection that I read for you in relationality to an ancestral that's coming through right now and is feeling very, very energetically protective of you. And the thing I keep on seeing about it, the thing I keep on seeing in relationality to that song is because the ancestral is very, I remember how I articulated last time we did a reading that the ancestral is very upset, that there's some energy that's not doing a better job of coming to your aid, is what I keep on getting. And I just keep on seeing the same thing that's happening right now. Which is and man, like when I see ancestral energy like this, I just need to point out that ancestral energy gets very, very incensed when it feels like present energy is not comporting. The word that came through was comporting, which is very interesting because I'm hearing like comporting is a very old word for that. So this is the ancestral coming through. They feel very strongly that there are some individuals connected to you that are not comporting themselves in an honorable fashion. And I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I just keep on seeing that what they're articulating to you in the song is how they feel, like what they themselves feel in terms of identifying how incensed they are about that circumstance or situation. Because I just keep on seeing, and I want to point this out, sometimes when I read into ancestral energy, there is, I'll often describe that there's sometimes usually someone who steps forward and identifies the fact that they're like the keeper of the record, is the best way I can describe it. And the keeper of the ancestral record is someone who is often, and I want to describe, the best way I can describe it is somebody who effectively crosses into spirit and chooses not to return, specifically and particularly to keep an eye, like specifically and particularly to keep an eye on things. Is the best way I can describe it. They're like, I am here. I'm just here to make sure that the ancestral lines is doing fine, is comporting itself in a way that is respectable or distinguishable. And it's interesting because I just keep on seeing, and I would often describe someone like this, when I see somebody like this in an ancestral line, I like to define them as a sacral. They're a sacral ancestral, right? And not all lines have them. but a sacral ancestral is someone who basically, it's like, I like to describe it as a sacral ancestral is someone who basically acts as a guardian angel across across an energetic, across an ancestral line, which is the space by which they say, like, I'm here to make sure everybody stays in line. And that's why I see that there's something about that. And the reason I keep on hearing, and especially if that is an old song, right? They're singing an old song because they feel like someone has done you a profound wrong. They're singing an old song because they feel like somebody has done you a profound wrong. And a profound wrong is effectively being articulated as someone who is not comporting themselves in an honorable fashion. And I feel like they're also kind of singing that song to let you know that they're there, and they're looking out for your interests. Like, they're energetically protecting you in spirit. That would also be, I'm hearing that would also be that other song you're hearing, that it's the country song, and you have no idea what it's called. It's an old one, is what I keep on seeing. and the reason, like, I feel like there's something about digging into that tune that there's something about digging into that tune that might give you further indications as to who this energy is. Because I just keep on hearing the fact, or also like looking at the time that these songs came out, because that's going to serve as further confirmation as to this being a sacral ancestral, especially if these songs are not new, in terms of the time by which they were I keep on hearing they were very nouveau at the time that the person was here, is what I keep on getting. I don't know why there's a song that's being brought forth to me to potentially send to you that might be connected to the song, but I'll reach out to you privately about that, because I feel like I have I don't know why, but it feels like it might be close to what you're hearing. And if it's a song I'm thinking about, that's an old song. So we'll see about that. I want to give you some bottom of the deck on this. Yeah, especially with the dream space right now and the Wheel of Fortune. The thing about I keep on seeing the fact is the energy's protecting your dream space. Like, they're not, it's not the fact that you're dreaming, but I see the fact that there's a karmic. It feels like there's a karmic that keeps trying to come through your dream space. And I keep on seeing they're putting them in their place. Like, they're putting them in their place, which is why you're waking up with that song. Because it's like, I feel like I keep on hearing they're like, like, I see somebody moving through a room and like going like this with their hands as they're finished, being like, yep, I just took out, like, I see them going like, well, yeah, like someone being like, I just did all that, like, I see them saying like, I just took out the trash, like, they're saying like, yeah, oh no, me, I was just taking out the trash, like, I see them being like, no, I was taking out the trash, like, you know what I mean, like, it's a lot of that, which is the space by which you're saying like, you don't need to see any of that, is what I keep on seeing they're doing. Because something about them protecting you, they keep on articulating the fact that it's dirty business. They're going, it's dirty business, and somebody like you don't need to worry. I keep on using to say like, you don't have to worry your pretty head about that. That's what they're saying. So I feel like your dreams are going to come back. Right, I just keep on seeing you've got enough on your plate, is what they keep on saying, and I think it's interesting because I keep on seeing that they're taking some bad energy off of your, like, they're taking some of that bad energy off of your plate, because they're saying you don't need to deal with that, is what I keep on seeing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. The list is closed today, but if you'd like to get on the list for Monday, you'll be the first person read for. You'll also have first priority, which means you'll be read for before we start the daily collective. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. Hi there, how you doing today, Ayushi? Thank you for joining us. The list is closed today, Rahul, but if you'd like to get on the list for Monday, you'll be the first person read for. You'll also have priority, which means you'll be able to be read for before we start the daily collective. And also for anybody joining us on the place where we keep the videos, your paid membership there will entitle you to a free 1 card each day. So even though we're not taking any more readings, if you become a paid member, we've got 1 more reading to do today, and then I'll be doing any of the 1 card readings that we haven't done yet. So if you'd like to have a 1 card, your paid membership will entitle you to 1. Hi there, Moosey. Yes, thank you for confirming. Lots of large words I don't know. There are large words and there's old words coming up. You're so welcome. That's awesome. Makes a lot of sense. Oh, I think that's beautiful, Nicole. Hi there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just let me know what you'd like that 1 card to be. The next person we're reading for right now is Beth. Beth, could you let me know if you're doing a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? And for anybody sticking around, we've got 1 more reading before we get to the 1 card readings for super fans and subscribers. I'm also still looking for Dina. Second call right now for Beth. Second call right now for Beth. General, got you. Focused on love. Okay. And before we start, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the animal spirit guide cards here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, Nicole. Got the salmon. Bethany. Guys, I'm pinning up Bethany here. Make sure to give Bethany some love. 4 cards, please. What's for you is ahead of you. What's for you is ahead of you, and we gotta talk about. I feel like we gotta talk a little bit about some kind of past connection here. And I just keep on hearing sentiment. Sentiment does not fix things. Someone missing us, like obviously someone's gonna miss you. But it's not a question, like, I feel like I see a situation by which you getting to the point of absolute exhaustion should not be what's needed to allow for change to occur. Because that's just a relationship that will drive you to exhaustion. Like literally, like it's not the fact that you can't have a relationship like that. But the space by which it shouldn't take you having to completely, like, I just keep on hearing, like, it shouldn't require you to feel like you have to fall apart in order for another person to finally help you. And often you cannot heal an environment like that because and I want to point this out, the sound of weaponized neglect is somebody ignoring your pleas until they become screams and then try to blame you for being upset. I want you to write that down. The sound of weaponized neglect is someone ignoring your pleas until they become screams and then blaming you for being upset. And I want you to be very conscientious about it because I literally see somebody trying to come back towards you in the auspices of trying to identify the fact that they care about you. If they cared about you, they wouldn't want to see you upset. If they cared about you, they wouldn't be addressing the fact that you need them because you have a problem with your emotions. They would not, your emotions would not be a problem if they were not constantly testing them. And I think that there's something about that that just needs to heal, because I don't know why I feel like there's a lot of volatility around this person. And I see them trying to, like if they've been away for a while, like, and I think you probably know it, like remember, distance is not a chalkboard erase moment. Distance is not a chalkboard erase moment. It's a bookmark, right? If they moved away at a time of conflict and they come back, there's no restart. There's picking up exactly where you left off in terms of what that conversation was. Don't let them identify that, like, don't let them get all sweet when the thing that they owe you is an apology, not a sentiment. And I'm saying this because I see something really supportive around you right now. I see something really stable. It feels to me, it feels small, it feels tender, and it feels vulnerable. Don't let past sentiment ruin the start of a beautiful relationship. And you can usually tell, right? You can usually, you can usually often energy, like you can time it, like and let their timing be confirmation. If you gave somebody so much time that they knew that you were in solitude, if they could count the days, is what I keep on hearing, count the days that you gave somebody to come back, because if they see you with someone else and they're only coming towards you at that moment, that's not someone that wants a relationship with you. Stop is not the same as I want the same thing as you. And I do feel like it's hard because I see somebody, like I see somebody here who's effectively in some way, right? They have a lot of emotions for you, but the thing is, I don't see them wanting relationship the same way that you do. An energy that wants you in that way but doesn't want a relationship will actively try to block you going into a healthy relationship by bringing sentiment in, bringing all the sentiment in that you knew that you were waiting for the time that you were with them, in order to effectively ruin what is starting for you that's actually real and stabilizing. So I want you to be very, very conscientious about this right now, because I just keep on seeing, and especially if this has happened already, especially if this person has done this before, because I see somebody and it feels like screeching halt kind of energy, right? It feels like the type of energy that everything's going fine and will potentially orchestrate a fight, and then we'll try to come back and say, I'm ready to forgive you for the fight that I started, right? Remember, like, mark my words, I'm ready to forgive you for the fight I started out of nothing, is the sound of someone saying, I don't actually want relationship with you, but I'm ready to start again. I like that new relationship energy I have with you. I love the beginning, but I have no follow through. So don't let somebody get all romantic with you when they see that you building something real with someone. Because here's the thing about it. If they actually cared about you and they saw you actually moving towards somebody with somebody who's going to provide you the things that they could not, the only sound you should hear is them saying, I'm really happy for you, and moving forward. Not the space by which another person says, I'm ready, right? Another person's readiness is never created when they see another person ready to move with you. But you'd be surprised how quickly somebody who's never ready will try to articulate that they are in the space of seeing another, because they feel like they're losing their connection to you. Bottom of the deck on this reading, this feels like somebody who tries, I don't know who this is, but it feels like somebody who tries to orchestrate fights with you. And usually you can tell somebody like this because they'll usually start a fight over the smallest, silliest thing that doesn't exist, because they created the fight. They created the fight as a convenient excuse to distance, right? And even in the space which it feels like if this was a situation where it felt like you were like falling over yourself, like they misheard you or they were misinterpreting something, they didn't misinterpret what you said. They intentionally misinterpreted it because they wanted to create a conflict that would allow them to be all romantic to you, is what I keep on seeing, right? Pay attention to somebody who creates fights out of nothing, because the self-created fight, and especially in the space, I'll never get over. I'm ready to forgive you for the fight that I created. That's all I keep on seeing. Somebody who literally, right, makes and usually, like, I'll also point this out, sometimes energy like this won't tell you what you mean to them until you've crossed the line, right? Like, don't let this person do the invisible ice cream cone moment of being like, I was just about to, and then you did that, right? That manifestation was never going to happen. It's very easy, right? It'll, like, watch the disappearing, reappearing manifestation, which someone goes, I was going to give you this, but now that you've done that, you won't get it. Isn't that amazing? Like, the ability, like, it's almost like a trick, right? Like, watch how quickly someone can create something out of thin air that they don't have to give you and then pull it away, all by articulating that you did something that you didn't mean to do, but now they can utilize as a convenient way to make you feel bad about something they don't like you doing. You see somebody do that, you walk away, you keep walking. You don't have anything else to say to that person, because when that happens, we don't tell each other about it. We only tell each other about it if we're trying to hurt one another with it. And usually the thing we're trying to hurt one another with never existed in the first place. Whatever it is that they were telling you that was going to come to be, but if you did that and now it's not, they made that up out of thin air to hurt you, to try to control you. And the healthy energy I see that's coming towards you, if they're already actively here, would never dream of doing that. So just be conscientious about that. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Beth. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings. The list is closed today. This feels positive, though, right? This feels what you've got coming up right now. I don't know if it's already here, but I want you to just be conscientious, because this feels very close to you, which says, like, be very conscientious about energy from the past coming back towards you right now. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. The list is closed, but if you want to get on the list for Monday, you'll have first priority, which means you'll be read for before we start the daily collective. I'm afraid, Siddhartha, that the list is closed today. I am about to start one-card readings for paid members and super fans if you'd like to become a paid member. Or if you want to send a donation, I'll put you on priority to be read for on Monday when we're having our full readings again. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. It feels like, and I keep on hearing, let the timing reaffirm you. If someone from the past comes back towards you just as you're starting something healthy with another, don't, like, the timing is not coincidental. It's let it be referential. Thank you, dear. Yeah, it was feeling weirdly aligned, wasn't it, Yaz? Did you see that? Yeah, it was the same energy. That's why I kind of allowed it to continue for a bit before I muted it. It was all that. It was very similar. Thank you guys for supporting each other in the comments. Zavri, the list is closed today for full readings. You can get on the list for Monday, and I'll be happy to read for you. We're also about to get started on one-card readings for our super fans and paid members. So if there's any super fan or paid member who has not had a one card today, go ahead and put your question in the comments, and I'll be happy to pull a card for you. Curious is you got a particular sign element from the one coming back. Yeah, it felt like an unhealed water sign, and the new energy coming towards you feels like a grounded earth sign. I hope that helps. Monday. I may potentially be coming on over the next few days to do one card readings and some personals, but I need to see what my time can accommodate. You're so welcome, Bethany. Excellent. All right, my friends. So as I mentioned, final call for anyone who is a super fan who hasn't had a card pulled today or a paid member over on the place where we keep the videos. I would like to be able to offer one cards over on the INSTA. If you guys could take a moment today to hop over to the INSTA, give me a follow there. If you follow in that chat, I'll be happy to give you a affirmation live from the dream, the guidebook for the advanced soul. Comment followed, and I'll happy to do so. Also, if you are already following me there, just share this live with 3 individuals. Comment, share it. I'll be able to do so as well. Yes, I got you, dear. Yeah, the unhealed water sign, super sentimental sometimes. One card for Yaz, highest priority. I feel like I see healthy energies on his way coming towards you. Your honesty is not going to damage anything healthy. Let your honesty act as shield. If someone can't handle your honesty, that person is not for you, right? That honesty, your honesty doesn't break anything that's good for you. Let the honesty guide you. My friends, I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. As I mentioned, we'll be back on Monday for our daily collective. If you would like to get on the list for priority on Monday today, you can get on, and anyone who gets on before I go live will be able to be read for before we start the daily collective. If you became a super fan today, welcome. Please send me a disco gift from the link I just pinned. When you do so, I will send you an invite to our disco channel, our super fan only disco channel. You can introduce yourself to the collective, and in the perk section, you'll find a special coupon code to our tarot class subscription program. Our next class is going to be held on Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the court cards in the Pentacle suit. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. Huge thank you to my followers, old and new. Thank you for being here today and receiving these messages. Huge thank you to my subscribers. Your ongoing support means the absolute world to me. And the biggest thank you to my mods. I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of one another. And we will do this again on Monday. Have a great day, everyone.